Get to the cheese, mozzarella, and the cheddar. I'm on top, well, at least that's where I'm supposed to be. I got a bitch with some titties like the letter B. As if you turn it to the side, I just open up your mind. Get your education, know you gon' be paying like a fine. I did take like Hillary and I act shady. But I'm a patriot, bitch, call me Tom Brady.
Sometimes that just wasn't meant to be, so tell me.
Welcome to another episode in the Mirror. I'm your host, Jimmy Jam, along with the gang today. We deep up in here today. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Start with my co-host Coco.
Hey there. Yep, that's your girl Coco. Hanging out here, ready to get this thing started. Happy New Year to everybody. Since I missed last weekend, so it's good to be back today.
All right. Got my boy EJ.
What's up, man? Y'all know it's your boy EJ, aka Mr. Conversation, and you are tuned in too. Just playing, y'all. Y'all know I'm here with In the Mirror, man. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good?
Hey, I was like, okay.
All right. I'm like,
What's
shoot,
good?
where do you think you
What's
went today?
Got my girl Sky Rain in the building. What I do?
What's up, y'all? You don't know this your girl, Sky Rain.
All right.
Your neighborhood unicorn.
Okay. We got Philly in the building. He watching the Philadelphia Eagles do their thing. Represent what it is, Philly.
Yeah, what's up with y'all?
All right. And we got the one and only
Frank the Tank, baby. He set me up.
She definitely told him. Don't
I
say-
definitely told him, don't call me no freaking Frank the Tank.
All
Are you
right.
kidding me?
Well, we got Frankie
Oh, I got-
Foster.
Frankie Foster.
Tell a little bit about what you do and what you got going on.
And I have Two Things to Be True podcast. We did our soft launch fourth quarter of last year, and now we turned it up a notch. And I'm so thankful. Thank you guys for having me. I know this is your space. I know I feel like my podcast is my sacred space, so I really appreciate you guys having me. And just let me come on here and pop my shit a little bit. Thank
That's
you.
what's up. We're gonna let you
Right,
do that.
all
We're gonna let you pop that shit anytime you feel like it. You hear?
That's right. So how's everybody week was going? Everybody anything interesting happened?
Oh, very.
About
Yeah. I fell through my roof.
What? How? What? No.
That's why
I
I
was there with
Yeah, I already.
I had to come. I had to be
Yeah. So just go ahead and address it real quick. So
yeah.
I fell through my roof, y'all.
Oh my God.
Got up there trying to do some work, whatnot. No, I'm not a DIY guy. This was confirmation. Stay my ass. So I figured because I lost, a lot of weight, now I could do more stuff and everything. But you know what? Some things just ain't for you. And I missed the beam that I was supposed to step on. And I just all of a sudden, everything went white. My hands went up to the hell. So when y'all be talking about God and all that stuff, I know there is a God because that was the first name that I said. As I was going down, I said, "Oh no, Jesus! Hallelujah!" All of us, and yeah, I hit my head. But luckily, I hit some totes first, and yeah. Luckily, my lady put so many totes and stuff in her closet that when I fell through the closet, I hit the totes first, then I hit the ground. So it took some of the what's it called. So I got some bruises, head a little hurt, but
Jesus.
we live, we living.
Okay, you amongst the living this week.
Mhm.
Yes, we praise God for you.
I had all the white stuff all on my beard and everything. I had to take a picture and go ahead and get it.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I thought it was just Joseph until I started reading the comments. I was like,
Oh,
shit.
my
he
God.
Really,
He was really messed up.
Damn, bro.
Yes, to be more careful.
Yes,
the beam thought that ceiling was gonna hold it.
Yeah, I missed the beam, bro.
All right. Anything else?
I did a photo shoot with Chris this
That's
weekend.
what's up.
Chris
Kimball.
Kimball.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
It
I love
was
it.
pretty dope. I can't wait for the pictures to come out.
I
All right.
can't either. Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
shout out to Chris. Thank you for choosing me to be your model.
Shout out. Look, I've been trying to get in front of Chris Lynn for a while. So Chris.
Okay. That's everybody good to go. Y'all ready to get this
Yeah, let's
thing
get it.
rolling?
Get it
Let's
in.
get it.
Okay.
Let's get it.
So
Let's go.
today we kind of hit on something last week, and it kind of got a little boiling point.
Boiling point.
We got a little boiling point out, I guess. And so I figured it'll be good to kind of start out with that because that's something that we kind of deal with in our community. And I'm saying I'm talking about the Black community is a cultural identity.
Mm.
So what we're going to discuss today is what exactly is culture. Did anyone have their input or definition they want to come with a culture? Or before I read the
I think we should start with the definition. Yo, go ahead.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, Philip. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Philip.
You're
What
right.
you got?
You can
What you
start
got?
with that.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say traditions, values,
Right.
shapes, beliefs,
All that.
tools, language, like a lot of that. Nothing that Black people have, but they own in America.
Mm.
Somewhat hit right on the head. It said
Mhm.
culture is a way a group of people live, think, and express themselves. It includes things like beliefs, what people think is true or important,
Mm-hmm.
values, what people see as right and wrong, traditions, holidays, rituals, and customs, language, how people speak and communicate, food, music, clothing, and art, social rules, how people act, greet each other, and show respect. In simple terms, culture is a people's way of life.
And you say, you listen to that definition,
Okay.
and you say we don't have any culture.
I
The
still
way we speak, the way we dress, the way we cook, the way we just be.
Mhm.
Everyone on this globe copies. They think Americans are what Black people are.
That's kind of what I touched on earlier. So I'm
For
with you
sure.
When we were talking
For
about it.
sure. You don't influence the world without having culture.
But okay, I
No.
hear
Right.
that.
So
I hear that,
he's
but-
going another way with it.
Where
ahead.
was where did that come from? Who actually authored that? What you're talking about?
Who authored
The way
what?
we live now. This is not how we lived before we came over here.
Braiding our hair is definitely the way we
Okay,
live
but
before we got
nobody
here.
really braids their hair because now it's more wigs.
well not adding hair to your hair.
Well, now it's more about wigs and lashes and so forth. So it's
But
not.
even the way we wear, white women are now going into salons paying $1,300, $1,400, $1,500.
They been doing
For-
that.
No,
Yeah.
What-
but not
Talking
at the
about
level
braids?
they're
Yeah.
doing it now.
Well,
I'm talking about
celebrities
young
did
women.
it more. What
Yeah.
you're talking about, Philly. It was more
But
the
now
white
it's day to
celebrities.
day.
Now it's regular
Girl.
doing it more.
All right, so
What's her Styles by Christy on TikTok? Go look her up. She has a whole salon that to me is the carbon copy of a Black salon, and she's servicing white women all day, giving them extensions, giving them makeovers. They're making TikToks. Is a social media that is something Black women really leaned into.
Okay, let's go with
Yeah,
the first one. Let's talk
for sure.
about beliefs. What is our beliefs?
shared
Because
beliefs,
let's say
Shared
let's
beliefs.
say what the people think is true and important.
shared beliefs, which
What do
is
we
not
what do we
cultural.
share and believe together as a group?
Poverty.
What we believe.
That's not true.
Share
I think what's the
struggle.
shared belief is that
I
there,
don't
while
know.
there is struggle, there's also redemption. There's also we know how to make something out of nothing
Not as a collective people.
as a collective people. I
No, we
believe
don't.
no, as a
I know
collective
so many
people.
people who don't think they can do anything with their life. So I wouldn't say not as a collective.
Well, I would say the vast majority of people, of us people as a people, will turn something into nothing. You
Mm.
always got a percentage of people who, who don't meet those criteria, of
Right.
course.
And what
That's in anything. But the vast majority of us, we don't figure that shit out.
well with our
Every time.
with our people, we are most known for not doing that.
Why do
I
you
don't-
say
I
that though?
don't-
I
I
don't
don't
think
No, I'm
that's
talking
an
about
accurate
to the
statement.
world.
No,
We-
I don't think that's the accurate. People, when you go overseas, when I went to Tokyo, when I've been to South America, people want to take pictures with Black people. Like they think we are all celebrities, and it's so
But
weird. It's so
you gotta
crazy.
look at what you're saying, celebrities.
Yeah.
So they idol you.
They idol our being. They
But
idol the
that-
way we are.
That don't give us a culture. That's not a culture. Just because somebody idol us, that don't mean we idol a lot of things that's not supposed to be idol.
I
Like, you're not
feel-
even supposed to be idol another human being to begin with.
I feel like as a people, we don't have what other races or nationalities call culture, because one of the things of culture is rites of passage. We don't have that in our community.
We don't have a kind of rites of passage, you think?
No, we don't.
Debutante. And both.
But okay, that's for a certain percentage of people.
But that's by choice. Because
How
we've
that's by
laid, the
choice?
foundation has been laid of what to do. Who's to say that someone
how is
else
that
can have a more
a
accessible
choice?
version?
How is that a choice if you don't know nothing about it? Because I didn't know shit about no debutante.
That's right.
What the fuck is a debutante?
I mean, yeah.
When you're
it does
introduced to
depend on-
society,
yeah.
if you go to Jack and Jill and things like that,
Yeah.
it's like a way for the parents to kind of introduce their children around 11th grade to society.
So that's what I'm saying.
To pass the test.
That's still
A
don't. That's
lower
still
percentage.
not
That's not
across
a large
the board.
percentage of
That's not
our
across the
culture.
board
Mhm.
because part of culture, if that's the case, then every level of
Would have it.
yes, they will know about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
So when me and Jimmy were talking about it before we got on camera, I asked Jimmy, do white people have a culture? He says yes.
What?
So his thing of white people having a culture is racism.
Oh, yeah.
So he's saying that's their culture.
I can't agree with
So,
that.
you know what I'm saying? So when you think about that, there is something that white people follow when it comes down to racism, right? Almost all of them.
That's their belief system.
yeah.
That's
Al-
the-
Even
almost
build
all of
a
them.
system
believe.
off of it.
Right.
That they
So-
still benefit off of today.
Can
So
we
I
say
get that,
some?
yeah.
So let's flip that then. So if we're gonna
we-
say
let's say
racism-
some. Let's say some. Let's say
Okay, we're
some.
gonna say some.
We ain't gonna say all of them.
Because
but-
We're never
everybody
gonna
doesn't,
say
just like
all.
we
Right.
said,
We're never gonna
everybody
say
don't
all.
subscribe to things. Every white person doesn't subscribe to racism, so that's not. So
Right.
by your definition,
We're never gonna say all.
That's not culture. If everybody don't, that's what you said.
But no,
Yeah.
I thought they were just going off at one point that was a culture.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take my words back. I think
Mhm.
all of them do.
You think all of them have
Right,
some
because
form
racism
of
is not hatred. Bigotry is hatred. So it's a difference. Racism is they might don't think you should be a slave or anything but like
Mhm.
that, but they don't think you should be equal to them either. If they raised in this country, in this school
Yeah,
system.
But I guess I want to
Now
say,
bigotry is a different thing from racism. You know, you do know. Right.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like racism is not culture because that's a learned system. That's a learned behavior. And I think when you start talking about people's
That's
culture,
what culture is.
it
though.
is.
That's
It
what-
is. It's
but
learned
It's
behavior.
taught. It's taught.
If a white child is born and they never are introduced to, then they're not racist. So that means that it's not culture.
But
It
I
is.
can,
That's a learned system.
with
But
that, like I
it's still
agree
a
with.
part
That's a
of
learned
the.
system.
It's still a part of their belief
It's
system
still-
because
it
they
matters.
teaches it. They teach
That's
it.
where
But no,
that's
but
where
I
I'm
agree
getting
with
because
that.
they're
Go
gonna
unlearn.
see it regardless. They might not be taught in their home, but it's gonna be taught other places.
And
Even if
oppression
their
is
parents aren't teaching
inherited,
it.
though.
But now,
Oppression is inherited.
but
That's
even with
something
that,
we
now
can
they
choose
got
to
the
do.
choice if they indulge in it or not. You
Right.
got a lot of them
They
who
do.
defense. Like I ain't gonna front, but I get where y'all coming from, and I agree because at one point in life there was a culture. Like there
Right.
was a whole collective of people
Mhm.
who was following this way. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so if we're gonna say that, then can we say that our culture is feeling white people are more superior?
No, I would say if you want to
no,
go back,
not, no.
No, you
I
don't
would
think
think
that's part of our culture?
before
You don't think black men have that feeling naturally?
no.
No.
That's
No.
not.
Nah.
Where did
I
you
feel
get that
like
from?
being
What
cautious.
are men
I
that
feel
are
like
like that? Where did that come
Especially
from?
not
Feeling
today.
caution is
I
different
feel
than
like living in
Look,
fear,
EJ,
living in fear
come on, buddy.
and
EJ.
anxiety
He
and
waiting.
doubt
He waiting. He
and
playing double dutch. He
uncertainty
just
is
waiting
part
to
of our
come in.
culture.
Okay. So that still kind of stems around that.
Because-
Isn't that still part of that?
If anything, if we go back to when black people was moving as a collective, unity would be our culture. That would be the
Okay.
biggest part of our culture
Mhm.
because that's
Well-
when we all was floating on the
Well,
same.
when did
type
we
of-
say it's unity though? When did we come together? What What
When
time?
we
Because
was
it's a lot
together.
of, it's a
How about
lot of, yeah, well, yeah, I guess you
when
say
we
back
was
then.
together, yeah.
Yes, I guess you could say back then. Right now, it's not
It's not
because
that.
we,
But that's
we're
what I'm
all
saying. If we
separated
was to
from,
have a
we're,
culture,
It stopped
I
right
was
after the civil rights movement.
that part.
okay.
So
That's
Yes,
when I
if we
knew it
was to
I
stopped.
have
agree
a
with that.
culture, that would have. But we
Yeah,
don't have
I
that
get
no
that.
more.
We definitely don't have that anymore.
Because the ones that was given a piece
Mhm.
decided to go a whole nother way from the unity that we originally had during that time. But I want to get back to culture. I do feel, all right, I stayed out of it last week, but y'all gonna pull me into it this week. I do
Mhm.
feel that we have culture. I just feel that the culture is stolen and other people take it and then they take credit for it and then we don't realize how powerful that we
Culture
are in our
vulture.
culture. All right.
So I
I've
want
gotten
that.
into it with people who
Okay,
I
we'll come
have
to that.
literally
We'll
been
come
back
to
and
that.
forth about it where I I called them that. It caused me a lot of drama. I was involved in a lot of drama a couple of years ago with this.
Mhm.
So if you want to talk about from music, let me, for
Right.
instance,
Mhm.
just about
Let's
every
Right.
genre
talk about
has
it.
started from
Right.
us.
Talk about it.
Every musical genre comes
Country,
from African
country,
spirituality,
rock.
whether it's playing the drums, all of that. Then you give somebody like Elvis will do the same thing that Chuck Berry did, but he will become the king of rock and roll.
But we
right?
talking about Black Americans or just Black people as
I'm
collective?
putting everybody in the same
All
umbrella
right,
right
I
now.
was
Then we'll
speaking on
split out.
Black Americans.
Got
I
it.
Black
know
Americans.
Black people have
So
culture
Where
in other
did
places,
Elvis
but
get it
Black
from?
Americans, no,
Give
we
me,
don't.
But
give me a
Elvis
second.
got
Give me a
it
So
second.
go ahead,
from
let me
Give me
go.
a second.
Go
Go
We
ahead.
got cuisine, soul food, right? You know what I'm
Food.
saying? That has been stolen by
White folks.
everybody.
But
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
still
You a
our
cook, you
culture.
know this, my boy. You
But
a
I-
chef. You a certified chef.
But if you
Koreans
understand
taking credit
history,
for fried
Who's
chicken.
a certified chef?
I know. I
Listen.
need to give your ad,
He's a
baby.
rich
I
chef
need to
Philly.
know.
It's Chef Philly, baby.
Wait a minute.
Certified.
No, no, no.
yesterday I did a tasting for my event on the 27th. No, the 21st. My fault.
Copy your
Yeah, that went
Stop it.
successful. Her husband wasn't supposed to be there, but
Uh-huh.
he wound up coming. He
Mhm.
did a surprise birthday party.
I love
He
it.
was
Okay.
tearing it up. He don't like sauce, but I made a mistake and already put the sauce on there because I wasn't
You didn't know he
expecting
was
him.
coming though,
Right.
right? You said he
He
wasn't supposed to
tore
come.
that shit
Still
up.
tore it.
Oh my. We need some samples.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to
yeah.
something next time.
Look,
Little
just some
sign.
samples, just little bites. Little bites.
But yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to get this going, baby. What?
So he said food. So that touches back on the food. So
Mhm.
what are
Now-
you saying about it?
Now just with the food, all our cuisine is stolen and taken and flipped. Korean fried chicken ain't nothing but fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? That was literally a guy that went over there to Vietnam and Korea and all those different places and took it over there. They took it,
Right.
they added a little something, whatever. It's the same fucking shit. All right, let's be real. Let's talk about AAE, the way we speak, right? The way these kids and all these terms and stuff that they're saying, that's our vernacular. That's where we've gotten it from. Even TikTok, all the stuff that they're saying now is coming from all of the terms that we use, and especially in the 60s and the 70s that they're bringing back into the way that we're talking. Even the
So-
community values, right?
So, hold on. Let me
But I'm about to
touch
say,
on
even
language,
with that,
Mhm.
what you're talking about
Language.
with language.
Even
but,
like-
So
but
y'all
even
were-
with language, right? The beginning barrier is not ours. Like even the behavior is not ours.
But that's
The
the case with
violence,
every language.
but wait,
Came
the
from-
violence, how we
Roots.
move and all that shit
Mhm.
now, that's not ours. What we live was never like that. We were taught to be like that.
Mm.
So
Violence
all
is
the
not-
shit that we
Yeah,
made
violence
from
is
that,
not-
right?
Ebonics
But
came
wait,
from-
Hold
wait,
on, hold
They
on,
try to
hold on, hold
make
on.
Ebonics
Let EJ finish though. Let him finish.
Go ahead.
Damn.
Yeah,
My
we
fault.
were trying to stay
Yeah.
on the.
Our community values, right? This is what is really important, right? So our traditional cultures in the beginning emphasized strong kinship ties, community cooperation, and a deep respect for elders. All right, that was a core point in Ubuntu and whether it's from African tribes bringing it down here.
Mhm.
We lost that. We started to lose that. So this is again, I love using. That's why I love the name of your podcast. Two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
I personally believe that we had it, but we have
sure.
lost it over the
Definitely
years
lost
because we've started assimilating some of their culture into us, which is to what you're saying. The
Exactly.
violence and the stuff that they portrayed, then that we started taking on that, and we have lost some of our original culture. So I do think we have it. We just have to get back to it. There's also hold on, phone went
I
out.
think you have other cultures who have more appreciation for our culture than we have than our
Yes,
people have for our culture, and that is the problem.
I agree.
Education. If you're not educating yourself, how can you teach culture? I think the fact that we don't educate ourselves is where this disconnect is coming from. Yeah, that you're talking about.
Understood. Even innovation, right? Science is a part of culture. All right. We have came up with so many different inventions
Must
that
say,
we don't
yeah.
get the credit for.
We created so
Okay.
many
The
tools.
super soaker,
But she
water
really
gun.
The goddamn light bulb, the filament that was chosen to
Chosen
put
everything.
inside of the light bulb, that wasn't
I'm
Edison.
talking about
You know
today.
what I'm
The
saying?
super soaker gun that people use to have water fights
Mhm.
was developed and created by a black man.
So wait,
There-
I got you,
yes,
but this is why I'm saying
Wait.
the light bulb. Respect to what you're saying,
yeah.
but Super Soaker, that's a fun toy. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a fundamental
Billion
building
dollar
block of
impact.
society
Yes.
that was mostly because yeah, he had a certain way that he wanted to do it, but none of the ways things that he was thinking was working. This nigga came up to him was like, "Hey, bruh, this probably will work. Let's do this." Gave him the final piece, the main piece that you needed for what he was doing. Don't never get no credit for it.
because everything they
bet
was using was burning out. So he finally found something that can actually hold the
The electrical charge.
voltage and the
But I
heat.
feel
and
like that
electrical
was
charge.
true. But in 2026, we have known that information for a lot of people. I will say not everybody. A lot of people have known that information for years, and we have been educating or attempting to educate the
No,
younger generation.
But it's an
educating,
it's an
yeah.
example
making
of
sure
just
our kids
saying
know things.
I don't
about
think
like
so.
that.
I
It's-
disagree
So I
with
feel
that.
like at a certain point we have to stop acting like this is new
I
information.
disagree with
But
that.
I'm saying it's an
Yeah.
example.
That's
It's an
one
You
example
can't teach
of
what you don't know either. You
That's
can't teach
just
what
one
you don't know.
example. It's so
Yeah.
much other things that black people have,
Invented.
invented or
Yeah,
came
for
up
sure.
with that is not even movies.
But now they have been given credit for it. So
They
now
still
I feel like
not
we,
being getting
but I
credit.
feel
They
like
still
we
not.
have to acknowledge
listen,
it and
even
stop
with the
saying that we're
credit,
not.
the wealth,
Yeah.
all that, they never received it.
Right, right.
So
Well,
it
now-
really
100%
doesn't
for it.
matter.
But that
I mean,
still
I get
doesn't
where you're
mean we
coming
can't
from,
acknowledge.
but everything that would have benefited the culture
For
was
sure.
never given.
For sure. And we can acknowledge two things can be true. We can acknowledge that they weren't given the credit they should have been given. They didn't get the benefit of their knowledge. But the reality is once we know the truth, then we got to step in that truth. And we have to move forward with that power of the truth of knowing that we do have culture, that we have contributed to what is now America. And in a lot of ways, more so, because how can the person thinking about it have more clout than the person who actually did? You know what I mean? So I may come up with an idea to say, I want to twist hair, add colors, but Scott, you did it. So if you sat at home and did your hair and did all those things and you came up with that concept, it was your creativity that made it come to life. I don't care that I thought about it. You're the one who brought it to life. And I feel like that is where Black people get lost in the accomplishment.
But nobody cares
Yeah.
to learn about any of that.
Right.
But I
Nobody.
think we need to get
But we got
to
to get there.
we have to
Yeah.
get back to what our culture actually is. And we need to get back to the original
Mhm.
how we were. Okay, we let them tell us and move us off of our square, and that's the problem. So with assimilation, well, what do y'all call it? I call it assimilation, but
The Matrix.
not segregation. When you
switching.
get everybody come back
Code switching.
together, when everybody comes in at the same time and move in together, integration. Integration was a good thing, but it was also a bad thing. Okay.
True.
Because in
It's about
integration,
intellect.
we
It's about the
we integrated their cultures and their systems into who we are.
Mhm.
And that's to Jimmy's point. And that took us away from our original culture. Okay. Now it's not just now Jimmy is, no, you can't. And we're bringing in all that stuff. You know, y'all know how I feel about
So,
that.
I got a question. Do y'all think whoopings was a culture? Getting whooped as a child?
Yeah.
Is that our culture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And they
that
y'all feel
is
like that was
Yo, you
stripped
see
away,
how they
or
whoop
do
their
y'all feel
kids'
like we
ass
grew out of it?
They be
Do you
fucking
feel like
schools
you-
up.
There was less
No.
need for it because there were more parental figures
No,
where
I
it didn't
feel
even have
like-
to really get to that point in the
I
first
feel like
place.
whippets
I think
are
that
part
came
of
from
white culture
slavery.
that we have taken
Right.
on, and
You
I
think it
feel
came
like
from
that's
slavery when you
I
say
think
absolutely
so.
part
Yeah.
of
Now
slavery?
it's
that's the
Yeah.
part that
Have
we
you
need to
met
like get away
other
from.
cultural
We
parents?
need to get away
So
from.
Your
that's
friends
growing
that talk
out
about
of our
they
culture,
whoop
not
ass, bro.
really having it stripped
They
away.
whoop ass.
I mean, as a parent, I don't see that really working.
What's that?
Whooping.
Stopping
Whipping.
whooping.
The whooping.
Not even
It
popping.
goes, no,
A pop,
maybe a
it's
pop.
different.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
difference.
I about
Because a pop, when
There's
you
a
a pop is when you teaching the toddler right from wrong. That's how you
right.
teach.
So, but that's
Once
my
they get
whoop.
to the point of
Right.
right from
A
wrong,
pop, a
right?
pop, pop.
Right,
Right.
but
A pop,
you
pop
taking
is okay.
belts and stitching
Yeah,
cords
too
and
much.
switches. That's abuse.
Because now
That's
you
abuse.
taking your thing.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's abuse.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
that's when you've taken on
Taking it too
Yeah,
the
you good.
practices of your oppressor.
right.
But did you hear my
Right.
point? Did y'all hear my
We
my
heard
main
we
point?
heard your point.
Make it
Great
again.
point.
If we back then, it still wasn't needed that much because there were so many parental figures and there were so many different people in your life that you couldn't get away with nothing anyway to the point of where you needed that. Grandma was always
Takes a
there.
village.
It's
Grandfather
always
was
there.
there. It's and Bluetooth, the
Yeah,
principal.
to raise a
Exactly.
child.
So that was the thing, and we've gotten away from that. And so again, we have taken some of the ways that they raised their children, and now we've assimilated that into
I
us.
agree.
And again, we're getting away from our original culture.
I agree.
Another thing, we got grandmoms that's 35.
Oh, Lord.
We got that's really a problem.
is
People
true.
don't understand
That
that.
is true.
Like you
Having
got
kids too
a
young.
lot of young grandmothers,
Yeah.
and even when the ones that's like 50, 60 years old, they still acting like they 30, 40 years old. They going out with their daughters and shaking ass, all types of shit. No more moral values being taught to the children. Like
Yeah.
they just get to watch you be just like the goddamn teenager you always
Yeah,
wanted
you
to be.
outside.
Like
So-
yeah,
so
shit's
basically-
shit's spooky now. Like
So basically,
Well,
we've
I-
covered the beliefs and values, right? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
We can
Mhm.
talk about
Sounds fine.
language
So
too.
let's go to tradition.
Traditions, yeah. Traditions, language, both of them.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
have
So what
any
traditions
traditions
we
of our
have?
own.
So what?
I
Okay,
want to
we-
know
we-
this.
What traditions like holidays, rituals, customs? You know, what traditions do we have in this country
That we've created.
that we
Our
right,
own.
that we
um,
have?
I'm
Right.
listening.
Oh,
Do we
well,
still have family reunions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is-
it's
is-
part
Boy, you just snatched it up out of there, boy.
Yeah.
white people
That's
do
part,
it.
that's part of our culture,
Was
right?
But
was
no.
that something
But
that was
not the way
created
we
by
do
us?
it.
That's what I'm
Not
trying
the
to figure out.
way
Was
we
family
do it.
reunions
what's
not?
Not the way we do
That
it.
wasn't
Family
started by
gathering.
But
us.
either way, the thought and the concept was from a different culture. Just like white people, culture vultures, we was doing the same
Sunday
shit. We was
dinner.
taking from them.
Do white people
you
have
think-
family
do we still
Sunday
reunions?
do
dinner.
that?
Let me
Yeah, a
still
lot of
do it.
families
Yeah.
do
Do white
that.
people have family reunions?
You think family
I mean,
reunions
just
are,
be
Yeah,
honest,
are,
but
are
understand
from
that's
them?
not. But understand
You
that's
think
not the
family-
No, I'm
criteria
talking about
whether
the
people
concept
do it
of
or
the
not.
gather.
It's
Like,
like
gather.
I think the way
That's
we
where
do
it
it.
comes from.
Have ever
You know how
heard
many
a
we
white
done
woman, a
served?
white person say, "Oh, I got a family
I don't think I heard Mexican
don't think
even
family reunion
nobody
every
say
year.
they
Right.
go to
No,
family
that's
reunion.
not
But they
still
don't
have
call them
family
family
reunions. I have
reunions.
two.
That's the
On my mom's
thing.
side
They
and my
have
dad's
them
side.
all the time. They just don't
They
refer
always
to them
together.
as family reunions.
Right.
But
Okay.
But that's
then-
why.
but
That's
then
what I'm
that's
saying. We
why
gotta look
our-
at it.
But understand that's why it's our culture because we put a name on it. We actually made it made it a thing. Family reunions, and many families do that.
I could
Like you
buy a
said,
pair of
Your
Jordans,
mom and your dad's side.
slap my name
Right.
on the side, and that do not make them a pair of sneakers I created. It just make it something that's mine with my own little twist on it.
So
Shit,
what?
I
So
don't know.
what
I
rituals?
created
What
them.
So if
rituals
you
do
make a
have?
dish, if
What
you make a
rituals?
Talking about,
chicken
I
dish,
made
it's
them.
not
You
your
gonna
dish
make- you
because
gonna
you
laugh
put
when I say
chicken in
this.
it. You
Not
didn't
if
say
it's a
chicken.
Communion,
But listen,
I'm just saying.
not if
Communion?
it's not if the,
Oh, God.
Communion?
communion.
even
I
if
wanna have more
I
than
add
one
something to
conversation
it,
going.
That's our
even if I
rituals.
add
Those are
something to
rituals.
it and make it my own recipe, if I got the recipe
And
originally
customs.
from something else,
You
it's
taking
not mine.
somebody's blood, representative of their blood, and you taking it, you down in the back, and you eating their body.
But white people do it too.
What?
Yeah, I was just
What?
about to say.
That's what we learned.
Just
it from.
saying. I'm just
What?
saying.
What are y'all talking about?
They're talking about communion
He
in
said
the church. They're
Ritual.
talking about
communion
drinking
and-
blood,
You know how they have
you're drinking
on the
wine.
first- what is it,
I'm gonna say,
first
who do you
Sunday?
think we learned it from?
Well, Jesus was black.
But
They
they
start right there. So
Jesus
who
what?
stole what? Jesus was black. So who stole what?
Okay.
Okay.
I think we should keep it.
The original.
Ah.
What color
Cause
Jews
you know I'm about to
is?
go ahead.
What?
What?
I'm not
Look,
saying that from a
before we
biblical
came
standpoint. I'm
here,
saying from geographical. If he
Jesus
was
wasn't
from
even
here,
an
this is
idea.
what he
So
looked
Well,
like.
Christianity has been found in the 1600s
Yeah.
in Africa also. So I mean, if you,
In
you
the
got really wanna be real,
1600s.
you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's the early recordings that we have.
Okay.
You know, so I'm just saying.
And I feel
And
like
that's what I'm
since
saying.
we-
Like, so that wasn't the original
if
belief.
you go
of us.
to a
I
white
mean,
Once
we
church,
gotta go. We gotta go back to
And then you
zero.
gotta think, when did we meet these people?
but think about this.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're not talking about where things originate from. We're talking about today. Do black people have
Yeah,
culture?
but that's what starts culture with the
It's
with
exactly.
the people
It's what
originated.
the people originally did, but
So
it's
it
what
starts
you
with
do
our
because
ancestors. It
because
goes back to
remember
our
That too.
ancestors.
it
That
is
too.
it's history and creativity is what makes culture. That's part of the definition. It is
True.
the history plus the creativity. So that's where I feel like we do have culture. Yes, we all went to church, but if you go to a white church and you go to a black church, there is a stark difference.
What's that?
It is different. The music is
Everything.
different.
The music
The
is
program is different.
Mhm.
The timing is
But wait, let me
different.
finish. Can I
Okay.
finish?
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
But where do the
time
where do the
definitely different, 'cause they
values and the
Right.
beliefs come from?
Mhm.
2:30.
Where the two most important things is the value and beliefs. That they don't come from us.
No, it's it's the
Okay.
values and
Finish at
creativity,
6.
belief plus creativity
Like I
is what
said-
makes culture. We're
Like
talking
I
about
said,
culture.
we just doing
Not-
it differently. We're
not
doing
who
the same
invented it.
thing, but we got our own little twist, and it's not
Now,
So,
Because if you say that,
Jimmy
white
brought
Can I
up
ask a question?
trends
Yeah.
earlier too. So would you call it a trend
Huh?
instead of culture? Would you say it's more of a trend that we fall in line with?
Yeah.
People are falling in line with, not necessarily.
because that's what people find necessary to like to really see as a fit to really chase. Like nobody don't want nothing that something that everybody don't see as popular or
Okay.
see as that everybody's doing. And
Okay.
that's why the world kind of fucked up now because like everybody idolizing fucking rappers, movies, and shit
Mhm.
like that. Shit that's not real.
Mm.
Most rappers, most singers, they not singing their real fucking life or rapping their
And
real
that's
life.
also another way how we got away from our original upbringings and our beliefs and culture, our original culture.
Music
Yeah.
or rap music?
Just music.
No, it was the
But
way,
understand
but
that-
no, like I feel like music was a way of expression from the bullshit we had to endure.
Mhm.
Like
But
all it is
changes.
like basically a bunch of built up things that we was able to express and other people was able to relate without feeling thrown under the bus type
Yeah.
shit.
I agree with that in the beginning, right? In the beginning, that's what it was for us to share our feelings and our thoughts.
But yeah,
and our struggle
Muslim
and shit
Jews
like
got
that.
their hands on it.
And
It was
but-
not money.
Once
It was
again,
it.
they infiltrated the music.
And I said that last time. If black people that would have been our culture if black people weren't allowed the Jews to take over.
Right.
If they weren't
When
allowed,
they
if they would have
infiltrated our
learned,
music, then that's
if they would have
Well, I
learned
feel
to
like we're
build
talking
together
about-
it
and
just
build
went down
rap
here from
and
there.
all that as their own thing, like white people built the culture for this land off of us and whatever the case may be. We really could have built our people up off our own self with rap and R&B and all
Exactly.
that.
Right.
But
But
understand
for the
this,
simple
yeah.
fact that it was so easy to be poured out,
And for
and
example,
that's why
uh,
we picked up other values and start rapping and
they
singing,
always want to give credit to
sexualizing and all
hip-hop.
that
Thank
for
you
the
for
simple
hip-hop
fact.
for our culture.
Yeah, it was just for the simple
Like-
fact of the check. It wasn't because this is originally how these people felt. It was just for the check.
Hip-hop is essentially destroyed us.
Nah, it was the parents. No, real shit. It was the
No.
parents that allowed that shit in their home. That's what destroyed it.
Was it that or was it the people that came in
I'm talking
To
about the infiltration.
give them the money? Like the people from the label.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
If they wouldn't allow them to, you know what I mean, take over with just a check and a contract, then
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
we
get
would
what
have
you're
built
saying.
rap totally different.
And all the
Yeah.
contracts were bullshit.
Because they was pushed to rap about killing and all that shit. That
Popping
wasn't
pills and this and
I'm
that.
talking
What?
about like when the shit first started happening, like back in the 80s type shit. Late
I
80s.
think
Yeah,
I think it took a turn in the early 90s.
Like 91, 92.
Yeah, it took a turn in the early 90s.
You know, I was just born a baby.
Lord.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Well,
too,
boy,
but
that's
You
not-
look at- you
because
missing some
someone
of it down.
just because someone erases your contribution, that doesn't make it an absence. It still happens,
Right.
is what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Mhm.
Erasure doesn't equal absence.
Right.
Right.
So
It
just
doesn't.
because they try to erase it, what we know now through studying and through
Social
just
media.
history. No,
Social media
history. I
too.
mean,
Right,
history
history,
and
right.
Yeah,
studies
definitely
and
history.
and intellect. And our intellect, we've uncovered that just because they erased it, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And just know that anything that's studied, anything that's preserved and passed down, that is our culture. So when we pass down things like when you go to church, you dress up. When you go to Big Mama's house, you don't act like this. When you go into the barber shop, young man, this is what we do in the barber shop. When we go in the beauty shop, young lady, this is how we behave. And what's in the beauty shop don't leave out. That is what is that is culture.
Shit
Yeah.
and me.
And maybe
That's culture.
Actually, she right though, because that is part of culture.
I get it, but
because that would be considered under the social rules.
Huh?
That would be considered under social rules.
A social
Right.
rule.
That is
social
that is-
rules.
Who all go by them social rules?
A lot.
What we just talking about?
But we're talking about we're getting away
Right,
from the culture.
right.
But we
Oh,
do
all right,
have
right.
culture. We were just asking, we do have, and I feel like in order to get back to it, we have to acknowledge that we do have culture. We've just gotten away from it.
Right.
And
I
it's
say
maybe
So is something
time
wrong
to-
I-
with
I
growing
think-
out of
I would
it?
take that.
We're
Yeah.
saying getting
We have
away
that.
from it, but if
we
something
do
wrong
have
with
it, but it's
growing
not
out.
productive.
Well, I think we've gotten just like church. You used to have the grandmothers who, even if your parents didn't go to church, your grandparents went to church, right? At a certain
Yeah.
for us.
Right.
Us.
Yep.
Now, maybe for you guys, it's different.
Right.
Your grandparents, because that's where the
They was
shift
at the club
came.
with them.
Right.
Well, not only that, but they were church hurt. They went to church and they had babies and they were looked down upon, and so they left the church. So I
That's
don't want to
funny
just
you
say
said
The church
Yeah,
changed.
church
too, though.
hurt.
The church
We can-
changed.
yeah,
We
the
just
church,
talked about
the
that.
church
the
didn't
church
change with the times like it needed.
So is that cultural?
Oh, I love
Is
what,
that cultural?
EJ?
That may be a cultural flaw, but it is still the
No,
black
that's not a
church is
cultural
still
flaw. That's a human flaw. Like
a
that's
human
just
flaw
that's
too,
just human.
that hurt our culture.
Well, look,
a human flaw that
But
hurt.
y'all,
that
back-
Yeah.
Y'all know what we
I see.
talked about just the
I was
other
just
day.
going to go there.
So
because
that's why I started sipping.
The hot seat had a conversation the other day
Mhm.
about church.
Mm.
Okay, so since y'all hit on the church, and we kind of beat this
Don't
culture.
don't
Please.
sip
We
it
didn't
on
beat-
the
Mr.
on the
Conversation
church.
want to get.
I got to get at least one of them in every
His
show.
point.
We didn't beat this culture thing across the head.
Mhm.
Okay, so like your podcast say, two things can be true, and so we established that the two things can be
You
true. in
made some
this.
good points.
Very good point.
You made some good
Um,
points.
So let's jump into this church thing since you brought that into play.
Okay, let's do it.
Uh-oh.
Let's do it. I love the Lord. I
So,
trust the Lord.
I'm gonna let EJ head this because that was one of the topics that they had on the hot seat, and I was in with them for a little while. I'm not good at typing, so I was really on the background, like, hey.
Do we need,
Right.
do we need to- Wait, before we go, do you have any comments about the culture?
No,
Yeah,
I guess everybody's
Yeah,
kind of,
okay.
yeah,
All right,
everybody
good.
kind of like,
Okay.
we got on some, some sensitive subjects,
we
especially when we
needed
talk
to.
about white people and stuff like that. So people probably kind of like,
Yeah, I don't want to get seen on that one. My coworkers,
Right.
my
No,
coworkers.
we did
Did
speak, but
you
it's
say
still,
anything wrong? Yeah, no, no.
Some people can be real sensitive about
feel
certain things.
And that's another thing. If we can't talk about it, how do we heal? How
Right.
do we heal if we can't talk about
We have to be
these
able to talk about
difficult situations and
True.
these difficult conversations? When you talk about in the mirror, that's
That's
not
right.
pretty. That's
Right.
ugly.
That's right.
Looking in the mirror sometimes is ugly, but we
Shit,
have
my
to get
inside's
that.
better than my outside. So I don't know
Baby.
about y'all.
Listen, the mirror
Yeah.
only see the outside.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and it's not
Okay,
always great.
and that's another thing, diving into this church thing,
Right.
because, I see things a little different from a lot of people,
Mhm.
especially the people that say they Christian. I don't knock anyone belief system. Whatever you believe that makes you a better person, I'm all for it. Okay?
Right.
There's no, it's no knock on anything. I just see slightly different.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let EJ head this because this is something that they had on the hot seat. Was it Friday?
Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night.
I
It
think
was
that may be
real-
where I heard. Did
it was
y'all
real
use that
interesting.
term, church hurt? In
Yeah.
your, yeah.
Church, right?
'Cause
right.
I've heard it before, but that's probably where it came to mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
for sure.
Go ahead and cook.
All right, so this came from one of the girls on the podcast wanted to talk about this. I'm gonna use her words right now. She was saying that she sees a lot of people they're leaving the church and they're saying that the church hurt them. So she wanted to know why don't they come back? All right, and in the conversation, it ended up being basically we explained what church hurt is, and it's basically you getting in your feelings sometimes for the right reasons, sometimes not for the right reasons. And then people say that the church hurt them and they decide to leave and never come back. So we discussed what you should do when you do have church hurt, but we also discussed the reasons. And what we were talking back and forth is a lot of times people at the church are really judgmental, all right? But we have to remember that it's the people in the church, not the church itself. All right. And I think we need to start separating that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's the people who are running. If there's a sister or a brother in the church that said something to you that you didn't like and you didn't get the right response or whatever, or you didn't get the right help at that time, it's not necessarily that church is those people. So the Bible itself says what you should do if you get into it with someone at the church. First, you go to them.
Mhm.
Second thing is you bring somebody with you. If you've tried to talk to them, you bring a moderator in. The third time, that's when it gets up to the hierarchy. But the problem is people start talking behind each other's back and they don't talk to each other. All right. If I have an issue, use you right now. If I have an issue with you, I'm going to bring it up to you. I'm not going to bring it up to Jimmy. I'm not going to bring it up to Coco. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come to you and talk to you about it. Now, and that's how men are supposed to handle it. That's how anybody's supposed to handle it.
Mhm.
But human nature, people don't like confrontation. People don't like a lot of stuff. And so it's a lot of talking around. So to shorten this up, that's the main thing that you can do to stop that. However, there's also hierarchies and there's these boards and all this stuff and all these different type of churches that you have to deal with now also. That becomes a little more stickier. And because church has changed, like Coco was saying earlier, now we're in situations where it does feel like it's the church instead of just a particular person because they might not agree with you as a board or they might vote something that says, we're not going to give you this or you ask for help. But in general, don't leave God, don't leave church because you felt offended by one church. That is a church. That is people in a church. That's kind of what we started talking about. And go ahead, open it up to other stuff, Philly. What's up?
No, I agree with you completely. And I wanted to add to that, like, the place is only good as the people you know there. So you dealing with a lot of fuck shit, it's gonna be hard to be in that place regardless of the situation, no matter how important it might be to you. None of that. A lot of people don't got the discernment or the discipline to like kind of separate themselves and their emotions from the actual goal. From that being said, it's a lot of bullshit I see when it comes to church. Like I'm not saying like church itself, but the people who's running it, like how they shit on their people, the money being
It's all
demanded,
about money. It's a business.
being
It's a
demanded,
definitely a business.
not asked for. They demanded money,
Mhm.
bro. It is like
Oh, the
I be
people high.
seeing Miracle Water commercials in the middle of the fucking night, like this nigga
Yeah.
telling them by.
To buy their water in
I
their
got-
bottle.
Yeah.
I
They
got
put
my
their
Miracle Water.
spirits in it
And I woke up
Yeah.
the next
I gotta do
day
sprinkle
and
it
I
on top of
had
your head.
$900,000 in my account.
Right.
Yeah.
Where the fuck you find these people, bro?
Right. Pay that. Pay that.
That's why I'm not going to sleep with my TV on.
Yeah.
Because you
I be
don't know
loving to
what
find
you-
shit like that.
Yeah,
because,
no.
Like it blows
Don't
me.
play that. Don't play that.
But no, real shit. It's a lot of shit in church going on that a lot of like you gotta understand the younger people, they in the age of information. they really can't be told nothing that they like. I be getting checked by my daughter when it comes to certain information. So it's like it's nothing you can really just tell them
Right.
without them feeling like, all right, well, I did the fact check, and I don't. And that's what you want your kids to do. You want them
Yeah,
to go out
yeah.
there and understand what they get into, what
Yeah.
they about to symbolize or tie to
Mhm.
themselves. But yeah, like I think a lot of that shit is really coming to the point of like people connecting the dots and
Yeah.
things just not making
Some things
sense.
aren't adding up.
It's
And I
not.
think as adults, once we do get out of the church,
Then you got all
and
the
whatever the
infidelity.
church hurt, whatever happens for the church hurt, I think people start as adults realizing that they don't need the church to still have a relationship with God.
That's the
So that's
biggest
the
thing.
next thing too.
Mhm.
And
So if I can have a relationship with God and I don't have to be under this roof, this particular roof to
Yep.
have that relationship, what is that? What is that doing for me?
that part.
You know what I mean?
And
So
then
I think a lot of
COVID,
people are figuring that out.
Absolutely.
COVID then made it
Is
to where you
anybody
can
in
go to
here
church
for church?
virtually. You
Is
ain't even
any-
gotta
is
pull
anyone-
up. Like
Right.
you can watch
I'm
the
not
same
for
sermon you will sit in
No.
right from
Is
your home.
anybody in here for church?
I'm for
You
church.
for church?
I
EJ, you
am.
for church?
I'm not.
I'm
for
not.
church.
Okay, so we've heard enough about not to go to church. Can we hear something? Can we hear something?
He's like, can we hear something?
Oh,
Can we hear
I'm
something?
about to say EJ definitely gave
Why
reasons
to
why
go
to go to
right?
church.
Because we
He
probably
said
got
to.
somebody might be watching,
So
and,
you
and they on a limb of wondering should they go or not.
Yeah. So first of all, the church itself is a place to congregate. All right?
Mhm.
It's a place where you worship. You can do that at your house. All right. But the Bible says where 2 and 3 get together. All right. So you know
Right.
it don't have to be a lot of people, but there is an experience, a worship experience that you have in worshiping with others. Okay, that can help heighten the experience. That can help make it better. For instance, if you're not a musician, worship and music is a way to serve God. It's a way to reach in a different aspect. Okay. So if you go
That's
in
been my
places where
favorite part.
music is played and things of that nature, you might could get reached in that way. There are people who are better prayer warriors and interceders than you might be. All right. Now I'm not, we don't need a we don't need someone else to pray for us anymore. But there is certain things where um even if it's that euphoria feeling, that euphoric feeling that you can get, right? It can help and sometimes um, with your just the general experience of worshiping with the Lord. Then there's friendships that you can make. I have friendships that I have with people that I made through the church that have lasted me. There have been some of my long-standing true friendships. Somebody that I can call when the person who ever first decided to believe in me about a podcast from my church. I was talking and I was talking to another guy at the time, and I said, "This is what I wanted to do." He heard me, and he put $500 in my hand and said, "Hey, I want you to go get you some equipment." The very first mic that I bought was bought. His name was Chris. All right, and I shout out to you, Chris, because without that, that wouldn't have pushed me to even be doing those things that I do today. So if I wasn't there in that situation, even for something as simple as that, I would have never met that guy and probably wouldn't be missed the conversation that I am today. So those have been some of the most strongest, and also those type of friendships have made me be the most accountable for the man that I aspire to be.
Yeah.
All right. There are judgment that you get there, but I don't always think that judgment is wrong because I think that we do need to have more shame that we talked about, and we all pretty much have said that there needs to be a little bit more shame in the world. All right, maybe not directly and making you feel bad to other people, but sometimes you need somebody to call you out and be like, "Hey, bro, that's some bullshit. Now, you know you shouldn't have been running up in that coochie because you know good time well she was no good, and you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know it. You know you shouldn't have messed with that married man. You know you shouldn't have messed with that girl who got da 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 da. You know you shouldn't have did that.
Right.
And cool. Now out and disrespect somebody in front of the whole congregation, no. But being pulled back to the side and saying, "Hey, you know you shouldn't be doing that, my boy." We
Right.
need more of that, and that you can
Accountability.
get from the church, the
Right.
accountability.
Yeah.
So those are
Yeah.
just different reasons why to
So
potentially go
my
to church.
question to the people that don't go to church:
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
you go to the club, right?
Hell no.
You
I go to
to
work.
y'all go to the club, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, y'all go.
Yes.
You see me in the club.
I mean, you go
Feel
to
it going. Look, I don't podcast like that. I don't tell personal
All right,
business.
so from what he's trying to say, if I don't worship the club, I don't.
No,
I,
it's not about worship. It's
Yeah,
not about
no.
worship. That wasn't there.
I don't.
That word never.
But say
That
last
word
time,
never
man.
even registered in my head when I was.
But yeah,
born.
last time I've been in
I
the
wasn't
club
even
was
going.
like 2 months ago?
Okay.
That was a
What
while.
you
Like
mean?
2
So what
months ago.
The thing
I
about
told-
it is, okay,
I didn't say nothing.
I hear people say why they don't go to the church, why they don't go to church, but I don't hear those people say why they won't go to the club because isn't it like the opposite of the church?
It's the same thing. Let me go ahead and just say
I
it.
was about to
It's the
say,
same. Hold on.
It
Watch-
is kind of the same.
It's
thing.
the same thing.
Well,
The host of a club is the pastor. All right. He's the person with the mic. He is
Right.
the one who's moving, or the MC. Right. You got an MC at the club. You got an MC at the church. You have music at the church. You have music at the club. You have those same seats that people are sitting down, being on their phone, doing that thing. It's just you. It's a different subject matter. What you're worshiping is something different when you're at the club versus when you're at the church. It's the same thing.
But-
You should be able to praise just as hard as you can at church, though, as you do at the club. Because I know a lot of people, they real loud at the club, but they ain't no clapping, ain't no nothing. But they clapping ass cheeks at the club, but they can't even clap their hands at church. I just want to put that out.
But
Well,
with
I
that,
just want to
with listen, with that,
to say why is
I'm
it
a-
okay to go there and not church?
with that being said, right, in church, you have to sit down and give your attention to the pastor. When I go to the club, I only have to give
Click off.
attention
Click
to
off.
what I have, what I want to give attention to. So it's like, no, I can't say they both the same because, like, I don't go to the club for the same reasons as everybody else.
And on top of that, like when you going to, I'm not going to no club to hear nobody talk, preach,
Where
or
you
do
going?
none of that.
And half
What
the
are you
time,
doing?
are they
What you
really
going for?
teaching in the church?
That
Are
part.
they
I ain't
really
going
teaching?
for-
Okay,
in the church?
comedy club. You
Are
going
they
there to
really-
hear him talk. You going there to see them, the
What
guys
you going
give
for?
a speech.
It's for something though. You're going to the club for something.
But
You're
even
not just going just because they there.
Right.
We got a comment. We got a comment.
So I mean, but it ain't the same thing as going to no church.
She got them thigh highs.
Coco
on.
got the boots on. So you
She got them
know.
catwalkers.
Anyway, like we were saying, golly.
Hey, they watch it, but they kind of like listen.
They listening.
And
Yeah.
then on
Okay.
top of that, in
Okay.
church, like
we
you
got
got
one.
those people that
We do got
that be
one.
judging
That's
you.
you.
That's her.
You know,
That's me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, okay, I hear, people say they won't go to church, they don't believe in this, but they
and
go
even
to
though
the
the club
And that's what I was
ain't,
about to
and
say.
even
That's
though the
club, you
club
got to get
ain't
patted
asking for your
down.
money, okay? Because
Yes,
we're
they do.
spending money.
You got to pay to get in
Money.
most of the time. You got to pay to get the drinks.
10% of your goddamn earnings.
See, come on now.
But look, listen to
So
this,
that's
right?
not a church rule. That's a Bible rule. 10%. So
But
you can't blame the
but
church
the
about
Bible
that.
rules is the standard. You have to remember that. That
That's-
sets the standard for what the people to follow.
$10 to get in the club, and you got to pay at least the drink you get at the church
All
is
right,
for free.
but
Giving
even
me
with
The
that
drinks you
being
get at the
club,
church are
you
free.
probably giving 25% at
Is
that
it
club.
10
You gotta
or
go
more than
back.
10?
You're gonna go
Ain't
back
more
to
than
church.
10.
It
With
could be
church,
more.
How much it is, Coco? You running it? Well, how much it is to get in the door?
It varies
Depends.
different
Yeah,
places.
it
Right.
depends.
It
Some
is.
people are paying
Depends.
A typical
Depending on the
Saturday night.
event.
Typical Saturday night.
Typical Saturday is $10 starting out early, maybe the
Uh-huh.
first couple of hours.
For a man, it's
Then
$20
it's
after
go-
10.
Yeah,
So
let's say
10 to
with the-
10 and 15. So
In
10 for
Columbus.
ladies,
To get
15
in.
for men.
Go to Atlanta,
And
you
then it go
25,
up.
$30.
No.
If you want to do VIP,
Okay.
to $50.
And then how much it costs
And
to
you
get
go
into
to
church?
and you go to Miami. We're talking about that's in Columbus.
Right,
These people flying to Miami.
right.
They flying to Houston. They're paying 150,
They are.
75.
We
to
dealing
get
with
in
these
the
people in here.
But I'm
But the point is, but to her point,
And where would I
They got
go
Coco
with?
sit back. They got Coco
You
sit
know,
back.
I can't go. I can't go.
But I got
to
one more.
church
I got
with
one thing
my-
to say towards
I'm
that
still
too.
hanging
Right.
out.
child.
You know,
You
When it
can't dress
come
the
to-
way you want
I
in
can't
church.
dress the way I
You
want to
can't-
dress
you
in
can't be
church.
your- Can you
You
be
can.
yourself at church?
You
Can you be
can.
yourself
can.
at church?
You
You
can.
can't. Do you see
Can
the
you
way I
be
dress?
yourself?
Hell no.
Huh?
You
can't
gotta
be-
come
He
edited.
just said you can't be
You
yourself.
gotta
I
come
feel
You
edited
like-
feel
to
like you can
church.
be yourself at
I
church?
feel like there are different kind of
can't-
churches. There's a church for everybody. You just have to find your church. Now,
But-
trying to go to your grandma's church may not be.
Can you be your
right?
Can you be your deepest, darkest self in church?
You
Yes.
should.
I can't be my deepest, darkest self
You
anyway.
should.
I
No,
know
you
you can't.
should. Can
So-
you or
So
can
is
you?
it that you rather entertain demons than
Wait
angels?
a
No.
minute.
Wait,
Because he
I
said
don't even
dark
believe in
yourself.
demons.
You said it
I
was
think-
dark.
I don't even believe in demons.
I believe a
I'm
lot of
saying
these
I
You
have
say
churches.
a
your
dark side.
I
deepest,
feel
dark
like,
yourself.
yeah, I feel like
Okay.
a lot of these
I
churches.
believe.
That's what
You know,
brought to my mind.
but no, when you don't
You said
believe
that.
with it, like just like you have light, you got dark.
Right.
Everybody has dark.
So when you
Everybody has
So
things.
you, when
But
you're referring to your deepest, darkest self in the club, what are you referring
meaning
to?
the things of yourself that you know don't resonate with other people.
I can't do that
We
anyway.
all have that.
Where can you?
I got thoughts right now. I can't tell y'all about. Y'all look at me crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And women, we don't know
People
what y'all
come
think
edited
about all the
everywhere,
time.
bro. People come. It
Okay.
don't matter who
wanna
you
hear that?
deal with.
Well,
They
that's
want
what
to come
therapy
edited.
is for. Therapy is for your deepest, darkest self, not church.
I'm really trying
God
to
for that.
understand how is it?
Can you talk to your pastor about your deepest, darkest?
A
You
pastor's
should be
not a
able to.
therapist.
Yeah, I'm,
should
I'm
be
good.
able to
I'm good on that.
No.
But can you do that
But
There
can
you
you
go.
talk to the
pastors that
club
are out
owner
now?
about your deepest?
you're not
About your
gonna talk to the
temptation.
club
No.
owner.
Some
Enemy,
people-
all
Because
that
the
shit.
club owner got
So-
the same thoughts you
No,
got. So
I
why you
think
wanna talk
some
to
things
them
need to
about
be handled with a therapist, and a pastor is not a therapist. And I feel like some people want to
That's true.
substitute church, and those are two different things.
it? Don't some
Amen.
pastors present
co- they
themselves as therapists
coexist.
though? Don't they try to present
Now,
themselves
if
as
they
therapists?
say, no,
That's
if
why
they
they,
say they
isn't that
are,
why they
if
do
they say-
marriage counseling?
Wait.
Isn't that
We're
a
not
therapy?
talking
We
Why
about.
do they have marriage
We're not
counseling
talk-
in
We
there?
got
My fault.
we got church hurt in here.
We're not talking about
That's
coming
church
to
hurt
your
in here.
pastor for a solution. We're talking about coming to your pastor or something like that for, you know what I mean, guidance.
What's
Like,
up, Cook?
not even guidance, just to vent or just to open up. Like, can you really do that? Can you just go and open up about your
Okay.
darkest, deepest self?
Let's
No,
do
unless
this.
you paying
Let's
money.
do this.
Unless
Let's-
you
let's
paying
do
them
this.
enough money. for
How
it to
many, how
matter.
many in here have church hurt? You don't have any church hurt.
Uh,
I just don't.
so I'm sorry,
I'm
y'all.
not even
I
Christian.
have to tell
Oh.
this story.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
And after you get through, one of y'all can start off with y'all experience in church hurt because I could see the trauma.
So
That's
I
where
got
it
I
all
got a
is.
guy here. His name is David Muter. All right. Another place where you can find a lot of true friends from a long time. This is David Muter. And tell you, this is a white guy. You know what I'm saying? Just
Okay.
being
Oh,
straight
boy.
up.
Hey
David
man, we
Muter.
didn't mean anything. No.
No, it's all right. And we was in the Navy together. So when he says we got a funny story about a pastor not being a therapist, all right, I went to him
Mhm.
with my wife at the time for counseling.
You went to this? Okay.
Went to who?
Okay. Your wife
This
is-
pastor,
Okay.
no, not to him, but he knows
Okay.
Oh,
because this ended up being a big story on my base.
Oh my.
He tried to shoot a message to my woman
Mhm.
to try to fuck.
Y'all wouldn't let me. I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
I wanted
Hold
to
on,
get
the
into that.
pastor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pastor.
The past.
So
Not the
I'm really
pastor.
young. I'm really young. I'm green. I'm 20 years old. You know what I'm
after
saying? Or
y'all
whatever.
went to.
We went to him for
To
because we
seek
was getting,
counsel.
getting ready to get married, that type of stuff or
marriage
whatever.
counseling.
Yeah. So you know how you're supposed to do that in the beginning before.
Right.
So we went there. He had shot up. He was in the inbox, like basically the stuff that I'm saying to him, he's shooting it back to her, telling what I was saying.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And you want me to go to
Crazy.
church, bro?
So when I confronted him about it,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? He tried to play like he didn't know what I was talking about, right? So then
He can't even be a
I
man
went
about
back to the base.
Mhm.
He comes down to the base with another guy, and I'm doing my little patrol stuff. And he wants to try to. Now I already done confronted him one on one. You know what I'm saying? He tried to come down. Now he got somebody in the car with him. Now he really bad at it. And I'm in my uniform. So I can't, I'm not.
Can't do
Can't
anything.
do
Whatever.
nothing.
I'm
He
giving
came
it
for
to
the smoke to the base.
you. Yeah. Well, I was on the
You got the
outside.
biggest
It don't even
Control.
matter. He came to the
Crazy.
base.
Yes,
with smoke,
like a dumbass. You know what
whether
I'm
he
saying?
was inside or out.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
Bruh. So the point of all of this is you can't trust most of them motherfuckers.
Right.
Just being real.
But bro,
you
that's
do
what
have
I get
church
into.
Huh?
When
So
it,
you do have
Oh, I got way more church hurt than that. I was taking off the drums when I was 15 years old.
Yeah,
because
there's church hurt.
I tried
there.
to, because you know, I was smashing, you know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, when I
And-
was
so,
in
yeah.
church, bro, it was fun. Like I mean, I was young, so it was fun. It wasn't like, I mean, it was boring, but like the
Right.
shit, the activities and all that, I was cool. But
Yeah.
now that I'm older and I understand shit, hell no. Like,
Right.
Now that you
all the
understand what.
beef, all the infidelity, all that extra shit that I
But that's
learned
everywhere.
that was
right?
going on in my church.
That's
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah, that's
that's at
I understand.
school. That's in
But-
college.
But
that's
we
at
talking about the
club.
house
Get
of
that.
God. I don't care about
Nobody.
none of that.
Listen, the thing
I
about
don't
it
know.
is
Y'all
it's
can't.
not.
Yo, wait.
It's,
Y'all
okay, hold
can't
on, let me
take.
say this. Let me
It's
say.
perceived
let
to
me
be
say this right
different.
here.
It's
Let me say this.
perceived
Let me
to
say
be
this right
different.
here.
That's where y'all start using the Bible.
Hold on. Let me
you
say
know?
this. Let me say this
Go
right here.
ahead.
People that go to the hospital for what?
To get well.
For medical attention.
To get well.
Yeah.
Something wrong with it.
For health.
Something wrong with
Perfect, healthy people don't go to the emergency room, right?
Right.
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 People go
Yes, they do to get checkups.
not the emergency room.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
not
all right.
You make an appointment. And you
All
get
right,
your
yeah. All right, go ahead.
It's
Keep
more
going,
scary.
keep
It's
going,
more
keep going,
scary.
because I know where
Go
you
ahead.
keep
Okay,
going.
so the thing is, when people go to church, is because what? Something wrong with them.
You're not
You
perfect.
see what I'm saying? They have sin. They dealing with stuff. Everybody dealing with something. Everybody in
Yes.
this room is dealing with something.
Yes.
Somebody in everybody's room got a some kind of thought in their mind that they know ain't right.
Right.
That they
Mhm.
know it, you know what I'm saying, could get them in trouble if it was a mind reader in here. So everybody,
Keep them Professor X's out this building.
That's why
so
Stop.
everybody,
the house of God is supposed to be sanctuary.
it's not. Listen,
The
the thing
house
about
of
it,
God is
it's like a
sanctuary.
hospital.
Yeah. But
It's healing.
It's healing to who?
To the people that's there.
that's there.
And when they leave and go right back to the
Okay,
same bullshit
but
and need to
I
be
get
healed
that.
from the same bullshit next
I
Sunday.
get that. I
No,
get that.
bro.
But I'm just
No,
saying.
that's no
But you
excuse.
should be
It's a
getting
healing.
better.
You should,
once
but who does? Who
A
does?
lot of
Everybody-
people
a lot of
do.
people do.
A lot of people do. And let me
Yeah,
tell you, my
listen.
grandmother used to say that the church is a perfect organization filled with imperfect people. So
Those
therefore,
who-
it's never, God's word is perfect.
I feel like those who contribute most to the church get better.
But that means you got to do something. You can't, it's
But
not
if
a
I gotta
magic
pay
genie
for
bottle.
sanctuary,
You
then I
saying
don't want it.
everything.
But not every church. Yes,
I don't want
but-
it, bro.
But again,
Oh.
the 10% is your 10% of everything.
No, what I
If
mean
you-
is no, not the 10%. What I mean is those who's giving all their money, 200, fucking 3,000 shit, donating this, they getting the healing. They getting the most attention. The people who come there on a regular just for the ceremony and all that, they not, when they really need help, they can barely go to the church. My
Facts.
homie, he
That's true.
needed help.
Facts.
This church, the first thing they asked him is, you a member? How often do you come here? This, that, and the third.
Right, because
But that's not a
because-
question when I'm putting my money in this damn collection joint. I thought we was a community and this was somewhere I can go.
And regardless,
No,
if
regardless
I'm
of
putting
what's
money
going
in
on,
there,
right.
I may not have it to put in.
And that wasn't a small church. That's the
we
only
kind
reason
of
I
got
brought
off. We
that up.
kind of got off. I did wanted to
Yeah.
hear the church heard from the
Ooh,
two
no,
people
it's
that
okay.
uh,
You're fine.
Sound like a
You're fine.
balloon.
Just lift it up.
Well, that thing cracked 17 different ways
I
anyway.
thought it was a
I-
balloon. I'm like, what? I'm over there.
It's fine.
church hurt
Yeah,
is also like
17
a bad
different
relationship with a person, with a human, right?
Okay. Okay.
Because you go in there with high expectations,
Right.
Okay.
like y'all are describing. The expectations ought to be different. That's what you're saying. It should be different. People in there should be different. Okay.
They
So
should be different.
So you go in there with those expectations, and somewhere something happened to all of y'all at some point to make you feel like that. Because I got church here too.
I know he figures
Well,
out to me
and I
every
feel like
time he says something
everybody
like
does,
this.
but for some reason
Really?
you were able to get over it. I was able to get over it. EJ was able to get over the church hurt, but I feel like but it's not people being too sensitive. It's just being hurt in a place that you felt was sacred.
Right.
You felt that church was
Excuse me.
somewhere safe,
Excuse
and
me.
someone violated that church.
I'm gonna be honest. It's no religion.
Excuse me,
to
y'all.
where you gonna get, you know what I mean,
Excuse
that?
fraud and all that. Go ahead.
I would like to give a shout out to Pastor Paul Stute.
Is that the one who
Is
tried to violate
that's
the
our
wife?
boy. That's our boy.
Is that the same guy?
I would like to get in Everett, Washington.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to him
with it.
with his horny ass. I just want to
Wait,
Oh, that's
wait.
shout out to him. Look him up, Dr. Reverend
He
Paul
said, "Yeah, I'll put
Stewart.
you out there."
Now you putting a name
You know what I'm saying?
on
Paul Stewart. Oh, I stand on business.
Listen.
He already fucking know what's up.
Listen.
So that, you know what I'm saying? I said his name. And his son almost went to jail for child molestation.
Oh my.
The junior. So he's the senior, and his junior almost went to jail for child molestation. He was in. Only thing that got off because he was young, and the guy did what's it called? The police interviewed him when he was young without the parents, and he told what happened.
So
But then they hit him with that. He was too young to tell. That's why he got off. Yeah. So whole family fucked up. Fuck all y'all.
Damn.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Righty.
Oh, he
Well,
tried.
let's end that conversation.
I just wanted to put that out there because I say name. That's why David said LOL because he know I ain't lying. No cap. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
I can write a book, y'all. So all the shit that happened to me.
Yeah. But you know, I just say this, you know, I'm the type, I don't go to church. Okay. But I don't knock anyone for going either.
Oh, by the way, I got a family and friends day, 4th Sunday that I would like all of y'all to come to on the 24th. And anybody that's listening at St. James,
All
CME, 380 North Star
Okay.
Drive. You know what I'm saying? Frankie's already came. I would love all y'all to come. I'm on the drums, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna
Okay.
tear it up. Even if you don't like church, I would love for y'all to come and my podcast family to be here. Just briefly. Bring the daughter, bring the kids. You know what I'm saying? Come hang out.
All righty.
Let's go.
Well, y'all heard it there.
That's it.
You know how to point my ass out. And you don't.
Take me out. Like, come on now.
Just bring the kids. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, you coming with me, Scott.
Your son and my son go to the same
We
school.
going. We
You know what I'm
going
saying?
for
What's up?
Sunday. We
And then
going
I want to win for bringing the most people in. So I'm
Okay, yeah, we gotta win. We gotta help them win.
Appreciate it.
So
And we ain't even in that long. It's an hour and a half.
What's your
We in
prize?
there.
Exactly.
I won't tell you because then you're gonna want some of it back for coming. I know
It's
you.
not no.
That's a hustler right there.
They're not giving him no prize at church. It's just you invite a lot of people.
No, he already committed to that.
Yeah.
He said, "I got
He just
most
tell
people."
him
And
not
look, when they
doing
ask for,
anything.
when we ask for offering,
I need
they
to
will
know
not.
what.
I will make sure that they do not act. It's just gonna say offering. You don't gotta get up. And I'm gonna say, leave Philly alone. Leave that nigga
And
right there.
And guess
Me too.
what?
Don't
You
even-
know what I used to
Me
put in
too.
a lot of times when you go to church, you can always do a bunny buck. A bunny buck is just where you just put $1 in and hopefully
You ain't gotta
enough
do nothing.
people in
You
there.
gotta do
Your
nothing.
dad used to make me save
bunny
10% of my money to put.
But
Nigga,
God
I'm
told you
10.
to do
I
that.
want to spend my $10. The fuck you mean you save $1? Nigga. I'm trying to get these chips and this juice. That's what chips was a quarter. You can get the
Yeah.
50-cent
Yeah,
juice.
$2, you good for the whole day.
A dollar you was good. I would get a cake for a quarter, a bag of chips
You
for
know
a
how
And
much
quarter,
you
you could
still
have
have
bought.
enough
Golden
for
juice
everything after
and
you got
5 pieces of
$1.
candy for a nickel. Bro, that was the
And
stack
then you
for
see
the back
people
of the
put
day.
$10, $20,
But it's not a
$50.
I gotta get my
contest.
daughter
It's what-
$10
it's
just
what
to
you
be
have. If
happy.
you don't have it, you don't have it. And guess what? You still come and get fed.
I just want to.
I can't go to-
I really
I
just
can't go
want
get
to.
no milk.
I
I can't
really
go
want to
get no
kind of
milk.
get to the root to why.
I'm
the-
tell you why
you're so
I don't go.
against it. Why you so against the church?
I'm not against the church.
Mhm.
I'm not
Well, I'm
against.
not saying okay, maybe I should use a better word.
So
But
why
I don't.
You
Put
know,
it like this. I don't knock nobody for going to church. Just because I don't like it, don't mean I don't like. I don't have to tell you not to like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's plenty of reasons why I don't
Just give us one.
dwell in the church
basic.
no more.
Give us one basic.
Okay, the basic one is like when you paying tithes and offerings, I was a single young mother. And one point in time I was struggling and I was faithfully going, I was singing and dancing for this church. Okay?
Singing and dancing.
Singing and dancing.
Singing and dancing for the Lord.
Gotcha.
All right.
I was doing it all. Bible study, volunteering. So I goes to the proper authorities to ask for help.
authority?
Wait.
Okay.
I go to the proper authorities to ask for help.
But
And these motherfuckers had the nerve to tell me they don't have any funds.
a lot of these churches,
I don't want to hear
Oh,
that.
Lord.
I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear that. Hell no. Hell no. Cause them lights ain't
They
that
should have
much.
the funds.
Every Sunday, y'all racking up thousands of dollars.
But a lot of people do
I
not.
understand there's some small churches out there.
Okay.
But for the majority of these regular churches that be down there on every corner, y'all got a good little bit of members in there. Y'all getting a couple of hundred and
How the hell
thousands
you
of
know?
dollars.
So that was this. That was you say you have many. So that was like the big one right there. So
Oh, I
that's the
was
one that stick out the
upset.
most.
You
Well,
hear me?
Okay.
Not 1, 2, but 3 times.
3
How
times.
the hell
Same
you
church.
ain't got no the
Same
same?
church.
I'm singing and dancing for y'all.
They can
That's volunteer work.
at least give you a couple dollars for the
Volunteer.
same.
all right. So, but okay, we
So
gotta
they give you a couple dollars for the same. I got
you
you.
gotta talk about the upkeep of whether it's are they still paying on the building. You have to talk about because see, I'm on board.
Bro,
with stuff also.
everybody
Light
has
bill.
A lot of these
You know what I'm
churches are
saying?
not making a
Now.
lot of money.
Now,
Everybody has
Most-
if
a
we're
lot
talking
of
about big
pastors
mega
also
churches
have
and stuff like
jobs.
that, I'm with you
Like, they don't get
100%.
paid.
But then there's a middle ground. These middle churches. I go to a middle-sized church, right?
Mhm.
So we have enough to pay some musicians. We have enough to pay, people from auxiliary stuff like coming in and cleaning, things like that. All right, have enough to pay the pastor. But now everybody can't get paid though. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Did
kind
the
of
pastor
understand.
get paid?
On some churches, yes,
I
that's a
mean,
job.
I know he do, but should he get paid?
Hell
Yeah.
no.
I
That's the
would
word of
prefer to
God.
pay
You took
my
an oath
pastor.
under
Where
God.
does it say that?
Let
he
me
should
tell
be
you why I would
compensated?
prefer to pay
Where
my
is that?
pastor.
So
Where is
my
that?
my personal opinion,
Mhm.
I think yes. And
Yeah.
this is the thing: if it causes you to, if it's the full-time job, pastor, not you just come in on a Sunday and you just look
Right.
a mess. But we're talking about going to people's houses on a regular basis. We're
Or
talking
when
about
things happen, you want your pastor to
funerals.
come.
We're
That's why
talking about
people
all of
come
those
at
type of
another
things
See what
time.
where
happens
you
when they
could
go
not.
out.
When
I
you
don't agree.
My
That's
pastor does.
that's where
My
y'all leave.
pastor
That's where
does.
y'all lose.
Stay away from my house.
that's where I'm talking because
Yeah,
that's
I don't
the
agree.
Yeah.
Pastor should get a compensation from the church. I don't agree at all.
I hear you. But for me,
Okay.
if
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're spending that same amount of time that you would have been at a job,
You say God
You know what I'm
called you
saying?
to do that.
He
But what I
told
would
you to
agree,
do it.
what I would agree with you is the pastor should be taken care of as far as like his home shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, transportation
Not at
shouldn't
the
be a
expense of the
problem.
church.
Like,
Not driving a
but
Bentley.
no,
Not
I
driving
ain't
a
saying a
Bentley.
Bentley,
They
but
should
you
have
know,
reliable
just
transportation.
even
but
having
they
a
shouldn't be
church is
driving
a
something
certain.
better than
Okay,
everybody
let's
else
get to
drives.
this. What was the church created for?
The
I don't know.
congregation. It's supposed
As
to
a
be
place
a
for
body
people to
of
come and
Christ.
worship.
Okay, in the
together.
older day, the church was everything to the community,
correct?
Everything.
right?
Right.
It wasn't a business. It was everything. It was just
But
like,
it was because
just
of
like Scott was
necessity.
saying. It was
Yeah.
it was for to help the community.
Yes.
Right.
The tithes were brought to the storehouse for what?
To collect and
For the
for
people.
to give back to
To give
people.
to the people, not the pastor, not
So-
the musician.
Benevolent funds,
But what I will,
stuff like that.
but what I will
Not even
also
to
say
keep
is
up the church.
some people, and I'm saying this from a place
I
of
understand
experience.
it because
My mom
it's
had
more
my mom had a
business.
had a
It's more about
Christian
business.
based nonprofit. Also, we worked a lot in the church, and what we would see is there were a pocket. I won't say everybody. There are a pocket of people who misuse the church, meaning that they feel like they should be able every problem they have. They should be able to come. So yes, there was a time when the church was a major support, but now we have Black millionaires, multiple Black millionaires, thousandaires, people who
Some
are
billionaires.
doing well
You gotta have
and who
food
are
bank.
supporting. We have food banks. I have a professional clothing closet called Lydia's Closet. My mom had Christian Women's Job Corps, and where we help women get their GEDs and get jobs. But
St. James does
is a
both of those.
two-way- It is
I was gonna ask you the
it's
same
two-way
thing. Do you
street.
have food bank?
You cannot,
definitely.
like the church cannot sustain everybody. So there has to be perimeters. There has to be
I
guidelines
understand that.
because
Right.
people are asking all the time.
Right.
So you want to be there for the people who are part of your congregation first, because that's what they're called to. They're congregate. The pastor who is pastor, he's called to take care of his flock. So if you don't come regularly or you're not a member, yes, that is a valid question for them to ask you. Are you a member here? And if you're not a member here, then maybe you need to go to where you are a member. But if you're not a member anywhere, then okay, let's see what we can do for you. But if a member asks for help and you ask for help, there has to be a choice. That's just
I understand that. That's
choice. Yeah.
I get that. I get that. To
There's
a certain
business to
extent.
work,
I
is
get
what
that
I'm
to a
saying.
certain
Yeah.
extent. My biggest thing is I don't think that the pastor should take a salary at the expense of the church.
But he should, because if
what
my
that's my
husband
thing,
passed
because I-
away,
Wait, expense
if
at
my
the church
husband, if
versus
I find out my husband passed
Right.
away at 3:00 in the morning, and I'm in despair, and I go to this church and I want this pastor to come to me, yes, then I want him to come. And I don't want to hear him talk about, I got to start my shift at 6 in the morning. Why? If God called you, then that means
What
God
is he
said He
what
would
can he
provide.
But
do?
He
that's
would
the whole
provide for
point. He
you.
What
already
can-
knows this comes with it, though. He
It's
already
a
knows
job,
this
but it
comes
is
No,
a
with it.
job.
the thing
It's a
about it
job.
is when he said
People hire their pastor.
okay, because all things say all, but pastors are supposed to be a calling, right?
It is a calling.
Not something that you go to school for and get credentials
You do
for.
go to school for
It's not
that.
supposed to be that.
But they do. They go to
It's not-
theology school
it's-
because
it's
how
not-
would they
it's
know
not
more than
supposed
the
to-
people who like they need time. Their school instead
That's
of
a
learning
job.
about
That's a career.
economics.
That's a career.
But what
you
I'm
go
saying-
to school for a career.
Professional,
no, you go to school for
motivating,
knowledge.
Right,
You go
for
to
your
school for
professional,
no, you go to
motivated
school for
speakers.
knowledge.
Knowledge
That's
for
what
your
pastors are.
career.
Right. And if what you're going to do in this life, which is your career, is that you
So
are
he's-
going to
so
you're
it's more
going
of
to
a
answer
job
this calling from
Then it is
God.
a calling.
Right.
And it should be a calling, more of a
It
job.
is a calling, but I want
It's
my
a
I want
ministry.
my
It
pastor
should be
to
more
be
of a ministry.
educated. I want
It's
him
a
to know.
choice.
Okay, so we are to imitate it. I'm sorry, I say we. Okay, in the faith
Mhm.
that you guys believe, you are to imitate who?
God.
God.
Jesus, right?
Mhm.
Did Jesus take a salary?
Jesus was taken care of.
Did
People
he
called
take
him.
I don't know he was taken care of, but did he take a salary from the people?
He did. He did because he took offerings. They had offerings. People left money at the temple. That's how
It
they
wasn't for him.
survived.
It
wasn't-
being mandated,
Did he
no.
own anything?
It
Did he,
being
did
man-
he
He
have a
didn't
house?
own anything.
He didn't have a house.
But a lot
he
of
didn't have
times the pastor
transportation.
doesn't own
He
the
didn't even
house.
have shoes,
My
right?
pastor did not own the house. The church owned the house. And then
Okay.
the church gifted it to the pastor on one of his anniversaries. But that was a choice that the church made to say,
Right.
hey, the members of the church said, yes, this man has been faithful. He's doing what he's supposed to do. We want to gift this home to him.
And that's what I was saying.
But the
earlier.
church owned it,
I can
not
s-
him.
that's- This
Yeah.
reason I can see both sides of the argument. Like
Mhm.
I can side with you guys about you should go to church. And this and that. And I can side with you guys about hey, the church is a bunch of bull crap. Okay. I don't like to cuss when I'm talking about
I know
church
what you
stuff
mean.
like that.
I
You know what I'm saying?
understand.
But
Yeah,
I can see why they say that. I can see both sides
I can.
very clear.
Mhm.
Okay. And I can understand why a lot of people are discouraged from going to church. It's because it's more of a business than a ministry. Now, you do agree that a business and a ministry is two different entities, right?
No, I don't. No, I don't. A ministry, because we are a part of this world, but we are not of this world. And being a part of this world means that we got a light bill, we got a water bill, we got a
So you're
mortgage.
saying they
We have-
coincide when it comes to the church.
Right. So there are certain things that do have to be handled on a business level
understandable.
to keep it
Right.
going. Or who would
That's-
pay the light bill?
That's
Who
understandable.
would manage the
I'm not-
money
that's
that's
not
brought
the
in?
argument. The argument to me is the pastor should
Getting
not
paid.
take
Yeah, I'm about
a
to say.
salary from the church at the church.
But a
expense.
lot of these
And
pastors,
so I
they
answered-
do have a salary, but I've seen a lot of pastors who give up their salary to pay for the needs of the
Okay.
church
Alright.
when needed.
I
That's
get
the
it.
minority kind of thing, though. But I
Yeah.
get you. To your specific point, say it again so you jog my mind.
I say that the pastor should not take a salary
Okay.
at the church
Gotcha.
expense.
Okay, so the word expense, right? If it's
Right.
going to hurt the church,
Exactly.
got you. And that's what I was trying to get to earlier.
Right.
So the semantics of it is, if I know it's putting my church at a
In
deficit
the bind, right.
in the bind, then no, I don't think that you should.
Well, you can't
However-
help the community and the people of the community regardless if they're a member of your church.
Gotcha. But to her point, again, life is life. All right. And those
Mhm.
bills got to still be paid and all that stuff like that. So to expect someone to put the effort in that I feel a pastor should make. All right.
Mhm.
Being around church all my life, good pastors and bad pastors, the time that they are supposed to put in to really be what I feel a pastor is, when you're giving, the good ones giving the counseling sessions or the bad ones to Philly, the ones that's trying to sleep with your wife. But anyway, those two. But the time and effort that you're putting
Right.
into it, where you have to have your office open, or you have to have your home available for them, for people to come in all the time, that's time you should be at work. So if you can't go to work, now you're telling me because of your calling, you can't pay your bills now.
It's not gonna
You
work
know what I'm
like
saying?
that. I
So-
don't
Then
believe.
how can he
listen,
feed you
I
and
don't
laugh?
believe. Okay, that if God called you to do something, that God will not provide for you
He is through
in
the
every
church.
means of fashion, just like God provided for Moses when Moses went on his journey to free the Hebrews. Okay, God provided everything Moses needed. He didn't have to take nothing from the people
You don't know that. Who told you that?
because it's in the Bible.
No, it's not. Where does it say that? That people did not house him overnight. That was people of the church.
I'm not talking about the
But the
house. I'm talking
systems
about
are
the
different,
financial.
though.
Okay,
You
I'm
know
just
what I'm
saying.
But
Like
it is
I said,
financial.
a
a different
lot
time.
will be
He's not
called, only a
traveling,
few will
he's
be
here.
chosen. So a lot of the ones that are called are not chosen.
Okay, that's
The
fine.
ones that are chosen will be taken care of. I believe that. So
And
I don't
maybe-
believe
but
because I
that's
know a
just
lot
like
of pastors
God-
that do not take a salary from their church. I know a lot
Because
of
they don't
pastors.
have no members a lot of times.
No, that's not true.
And they don't
That's
have
not
members
true.
who are tithe, and
That's
that's
not
why they
true.
don't take.
No,
and so
they don't take
it
salary because
upon
they
their
make their
own.
own money. They make their own money and take care of their family and everything that goes into that church.
Because-
They take care of the people
But
with
understand,
it.
I don't want a pastor
They
who
take
is
care of the
at
people
a
with it.
9 to 5 going through the same stresses I'm going through.
What difference does
Having,
that make,
excuse me,
though, when they working?
having financial problems, things like that. When he should be, I feel like he needs to be strengthened to be able to strengthen other people. You can't pour from an empty cup.
How do you determine what the salary is?
Based on what the church brings
What
in.
the church
Right.
brings in,
I
they have
do-
a percentage, just like any other budget.
I
So
feel-
20% of what we get will go to pay our pastor. Like it is. That's what I mean by it's a business. Is that there is a budget.
It's a
So
business.
that shouldn't be funding their lifestyle.
Okay,
That's
It
not
is.
a-
now we're
their
going
lifestyle.
into
But a
and
lot of these
I agree
pastors
with you.
have other things. They're writing books. They're making movies.
Right, they making
They're
money
doing
off of
other
their-
things.
their gifts.
Don't you?
Right, my gifts.
Yeah,
Right.
you make money
But
off
I
your
don't
gifts.
ask-
So if
let me
I'm a
just say this
great-
right here, just say
If I'm
if I
studying,
ask people to come in here and pay me to come in here, right? That would not pay for me. I wouldn't take the money because I have my own means of making money. You see what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with this. So whatever
But this
money
is
comes
their
in here will edify this and the people in here.
but at a certain
But so,
level.
I'm saying,
Okay.
so when you have a pastor comes in that has no other means of income, and his income comes strictly from the contributions from the members,
Yeah.
then he is taking from the church to support his lifestyle. I just don't agree with that
I think what
at
you're
all.
I think what you're mistaken is
It's not a
you're
mistake.
I think what you're mistaken is people who abuse that, because again, I think what Christians need to remember, everybody who gives to the church, is that the Bible tells us 10% to give our 10%. That's our commandment.
I never
Now,
said that
what-
as a commandment.
It is. It's
No,
in
it's
the
not.
book of, yeah, it's in the Old
It's in Malachi,
Testament.
but it
10%.
wasn't a commandment. It was
Okay.
a trial.
But I mean, that is the standard. We give
It
our
was-
10%.
It was
So
not. It's not a standard though.
okay. Well, then that's a whole nother thing that you don't believe in
well, I
tithing.
said I
So,
believe it. It was in there.
but what I'm saying,
that's what I'm saying.
tithing,
You got to know when it was written, who
But
it was
what I'm
written
saying
to,
is
why
that-
it was written.
with the understanding that tithing is a practice that is common in church, 10%.
Right.
So whether you
And
believe
your
it, whether you
boy
abide by
Creflo
it,
Dollar just came and told everybody.
I'm
we're
just,
not talking about Creflo
how it was
Dollar.
a hustle.
We're talking about
It is a
we're
hustle.
talking about the practice of tithing. So if you believe, okay, 10%, I believe 10% of
Right.
everything, meaning your time, meaning your effort, meaning
I don't
Your
believe
heart.
it
Hold on one
should be
second.
a
Let me
percentage
let me-
on it.
yeah. So
This
if
is
it's,
it.
I mean, that's just what the Bible. That's what the
But
Bible says. So it's like
Let me
it
finish,
doesn't
though.
matter what we
Yeah.
think. That's what the Bible says. So if you're gonna
That's
follow,
your interpretation of it.
if you're gonna follow
Right.
what that says, 10%, then my job is to do what God told me.
Right.
What happened after I give that 10%? That is, listen,
I
that's
get
between
it. I
that
get that.
pastor and God. If he's abusing that, if he's doing things he don't have no business doing with that
I
money,
understand.
that is between
Right.
him and God, and that is none of my concern. And
understand.
if I feel
I feel
less
the same
strongly
way.
about it, I need to find another church.
I feel the same way.
I need because I don't think about that in my church.
Then we
So
need to
when
get
it
rid
comes
of-
to
we need get
tithing,
rid
real
of
quick,
mega churches
I
then.
understand.
That's what we need to do. We
When-
need to get rid
No,
of
because
mega
some
churches.
people are comfortable with that. Some people are comfortable with
But that's
knowing
what the problem is. You have these big old churches. How can you help people if you have these
because
big
they have
churches?
staff. They have
So
staff.
now you gotta pay staff.
Oh,
So
we do
how
got
you
a
gonna
couple
take care of your
comments, though.
congregation? Now you gotta pay staff. You gotta pay for cleaners.
So
You gotta pay.
You gotta
But
pay the
Hold
cost
up.
to
Another
run that
thing-
church.
What he
We
said.
can let him
I wanna
finish.
Oh, go ahead.
hear
We can let him
what
go
he
ahead.
said. What the tithing.
So when it comes to tithing, Old Testament, it was a required practice. All right. It was under the Mosaic law for the nation of Israel, and it was not just a suggestion. Purposes was to fund the Levites and priests, and supported national feasts, and provided for the poor and needy. All right.
Let's
So,
support
but
the
in the New Testament, it shifted its focus to it's still mandatory system of Mosaic law, but it shifted its focus to being generous, voluntary, and cheerful giving to support the church and the poor based on individual decisions rather than a legal compulsion. So
It's
did change.
voluntary.
So
Right.
Mhm.
Because
It
during
is
the
voluntary.
Old Testament, it was a requirement
Mhm.
for that time to try. It was a trial basis. But when that ended, it came
Right.
more like,
It's
okay,
still
it's not
voluntary.
It's not right. It's not a requirement. That's what I was saying. It's not a requirement. So
Yeah.
for people that's listening, it's not required.
Yeah,
But-
most churches don't require.
But if like you said, if that's something God feels telling you to do,
Mm-hmm.
then you do that.
Then you do
Right. I get that part. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not arguing that part at all about it being something because relationship with God is between you and God. It's
Right.
not it's not about
For
other
sure.
people in the church and all that. It's about you and God. So whatever God tells you,
To
you
do.
do it. No matter
Right.
what they're telling you or anybody else telling you, you have to be obedient to God yourself.
Right.
And be accountable for that.
All right. I want to cover a couple of the comments, and I got a response, and I got to get up out of here for something
Yeah,
else.
kind of wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah,
So
let's wrap it this time. Yeah.
Cook
So we gotta
says
go on and on.
church is
Okay.
not a full-time job, so he doesn't believe that he needs to have a salary. And then he says most churches operate 2 to 3 days a week, and these pastors are living 2K plus lifestyles. Make it make sense. Now, I hear you, Cook. Appreciate your comment.
That's not true.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, but we got to talk about percentages and stuff. When we say things like that, it's not a lot that are living the 2K lifestyle. Those are the
For
ones
sure.
that you're seeing on some of the social medias and stuff like that. The average pastor makes nowhere near, does not make
Nowhere
a quarter, because the average church doesn't make that to have it. So I think we were arguing a lot of times in the extremes, which
Mhm.
sometimes extremes are good to make a point. I get it. When you're using, if it's a pastor, it's somebody that's money hungry and they're doing these type of things, they should be checked. There should be check and balances like there is for anything else that's in life. All right. There are people, to your point, Frankie, that say things. They move in a way that you should not move.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's not biblical. All right. Because your pastor,
For sure.
as the head, you don't take more food than is available. You still have to feed your flock. All right. You're going to make sure those sheep are fed first, and then you're going to get
Then you
scraps.
eat,
Right.
right.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
right.
And that's to your point. So again, if you put all of these, I think we're really close. It's just a few words that's kind of
Right,
just,
just a little bit.
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Just a
That
little
get
bit.
people,
Kinda
except for
right
Philly,
there,
because I know
yeah.
you just ain't fucking with it at all. You know what I'm saying? I got you, brother. Philly done gave up. Philly said, Philly said,
He'll be back.
In
He'll be
Jesus' name, we forget.
but on live, can I get a is you coming on the
We're
24th?
coming to family and
Is
friends.
you gonna come to the Philly? Is you gonna come on the 24th with you?
We're gonna take a family picture when we get there.
Yeah, then we get a whole podcast fam picture,
Mm-hmm.
everything.
That's right.
Hey, why you always got to do that?
Yeah,
He can say no. He can say no.
He
can say no, man.
Let me see something different.
I pop up for a picture.
Yeah, let us show you something.
So say what
Scott,
time
Scott, you coming?
What
You gonna
time you
come?
taking the picture? That way you gonna pull up.
I'm gonna bring your bunny butt. You don't even have to bring
You
the bunny
taking
butt. I
pictures
got
before
you.
or
I got
after
you.
service?
Right.
Before and after.
After service, we taking a picture after service.
Well, let me-
After we done prayed.
Well, let me know after
So
they
you
get
got
off.
that's 14 days away. You good?
Yeah.
We good. We good. We got this.
So I'm
Coco, you coming? Hold on, Coco, you coming?
Listen, Coco, you coming? Come on, Coco.
I might come. I just might.
We gonna work on you.
That's all I
Just
can
like
say.
I just
Cook, you say you used to go to St. James, so you
Hold on,
gotta
we gonna
come.
dress
I
up.
just might.
I
go.
just might.
We gonna show out. We
I don't
coming
wanna
out
hear
Sunday best.
Shit, not what I got.
You wear whatever you want, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. I wish they would. I wish they would. I wish somebody would. I'm gonna wear my.
We
I'm
gonna
gonna wear my wig hat with my
we gonna make them give you something for
with
your
my
dance
back
to the
hanging
same.
from my head.
You
And then I'm gonna bring my broom.
You said the 24th.
And I'm coming with you. And my crystals. That's gonna be cool.
What's the
Oh, that's
date?
the day of the Mardi Gras. Thing.
Oh, they the
24th.
14th. You actually got about 13 days.
Yes.
We got this. We got
As a
this.
matter of fact, it's the day after the modeling thing that we're gonna be in.
Yeah.
So the 24th on a Saturday.
So yeah, so it's a Sunday. It's the
It's a
25th.
Sunday.
So the
The
25th.
Yeah.
25th, okay.
Oh, okay.
We got it.
So
And
what
you
time- what
modeling,
time-
and I'm
what
gonna
time
be there
service?
too. So then the next morning we come to church.
What
We
time
doing
is it?
church.
11:30?
I'm
It's 10
bringing-
o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 a.m.
o'clock, 10 a.m.
All right. All right.
We can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Ooh,
We can do it. I'm gonna have y'all.
Wait, y'all having dinner?
Yeah, it's gonna be some food
Oh,
after.
y'all have food too?
Uh-oh.
You might got me
Yeah,
there.
you might.
My church
You
don't have
might have.
nothing.
Y'all don't have no food. I might make it.
All right, y'all. I gotta get up out of here,
All
y'all.
right, Mr. Conversation. Thank you.
Hey,
as
well,
always.
look,
Thank
we gonna
you.
kind
Yeah,
of wrap
all
it
right,
up.
EJ.
then.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, because we done covered a lot. Did a
Can we
lot,
do
said
church
a lot.
announcements? Everybody
do
tell what they got
church-
coming up.
Church
What you
announcements.
got coming up, EJ, real quick?
That Family and Friends Day. All right, y'all.
Family
Yeah, come on.
Friends Day,
Okay.
January 25th at what?
St. James.
St. James. On what? What's the address?
380 North Star Drive.
North Star Drive.
North Star Drive.
All right,
Everybody around here looking at it probably know
Right by
about
the chest, near Chester.
it. Yes, sir.
You know what
So,
Chester is. You know you can find St. James.
Okay. So at this point, we kind of give everybody an opportunity to kind of say their closing remarks and what they want to say about the topic. Anything that's kind of left that you weren't able to say. We're gonna start right here and then go around the room. Billy, you want to give your closing remarks of how you felt about either topic? Because we kind of hit two. Do you want to?
More so on the money part. Like I said, I get the simple fact that things has to be taken care of. Like I said, I agree the pastor should not have to worry about living and transportation, certain shit.
Mm.
But when it comes to like actually a living off the church, I don't think that's probable. Like it shouldn't be, at least. Like everything that go into the church should go back into the people.
Okay.
And just like that's what donation is for. Like
Right.
you donating for a cause to go back into whatever cause it is, whether it's people, children, whatever.
Right.
So that's what I just feel on that. What I wanted to say something on what Frankie said when she said she felt like she should be able to hit her pastor at any time and not have to worry about him being at work and stuff like that. That just rebut the phrase of saying your pastor is not a therapist. If he gotta run to you or be there for you every time you have a problem, then that's therapy.
Yeah.
So like you already overworking that man to begin with.
I guess that's the calling. That's the calling. Is
Right.
that you
That's
know
what
you're going to
they
answer that
know,
call.
that
when
they're-
people-
yeah,
but
they
he,
know
yeah,
they
he,
get into
his
it.
tolerance
then
for
they
that is
use-
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
they know
so
that.
Frankie,
Sound like a double
Frankie,
standard.
what are you?
Yeah.
What are your closing?
Well, just to respond to that, is I feel like when it's something big, I said if I lost my husband, I didn't say I
Right.
stumped my toe on the
Right.
edge of my
Right.
bed. He
And still you
Yeah.
can have
Something
family
major.
for that.
something
Major
life
traumatic
changing
I understand,
event.
right.
Yeah, for sure. Or I'm
Okay.
sick, I'm on my deathbed. I want my pastor there praying.
Right.
That's what I
Okay.
mean.
I got
Okay. But what I will say is that that I just encourage everybody, if you have been church hurt, to heal. Healing is so important, and healing your relationship with faith is not a betrayal of what happened to you or saying that what happened to you was right. It wasn't right. But like my grandmother said, the church is just a building of imperfect people. So people are going to hurt you. People, if you put too
Right.
much faith in people, I promise you they're going to let you down. So, and I feel like healing is just a sign of not just it's maturity, also
Right.
spiritual maturity is knowing that God is bigger than what somebody did to you, and you gotta move on from that. And I'm just gonna say, Jesus never shamed people for being hurt by religious systems. He challenged the systems and told
Amen.
them to make them better. And so
Definitely.
that's where I am. Is that's why I said you wear what you want to wear. I wish somebody would, baby. I'm standing 10 toes down.
That's
Like,
right.
back up, because
Right.
she belonged to God, and she came and what they say, come as you are, and that don't mean that
Right.
you keep. Of course, as you come, I feel like you
You
see how
change.
people. You'll
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
God will change your
Also,
heart
God will
to
change.
change what you wear. That's not for people to shame anybody or make them feel bad for not having it or any of those things. That's not what God called His people to be. And
Amen.
so I'm always gonna challenge that because I feel like people before things and all that. Like you deal with people first.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Sky, you got anything you want to add?
Well, I will say, if church is your thing, by golly, church is your thing. If you want to go to church, find you a church home, cool, do that. Find one that fits you. But don't criticize or demonize nobody
That's
else
But
for
not.
not going
All
or
right.
not wanting to go
That's right.
or have other thought or interpretation of what it is to be Christian, be spiritual, be godly, whatever you want to call it, up under the umbrella. Because to me, at the end of the day, we all doing the same thing.
Okay.
sin is
All right.
sin.
Not,
Sin is
not
sin. I always say that
not
too.
even sin. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, like, how you go to church and you pray, you give your communion, this and that and the other.
Mhm.
Like, I'm into spirituality. I may not do it like what you doing, but I'm still doing the same thing.
You're worshiping. Mhm.
Right.
It's called ancestral worship.
All righty.
Yeah.
That's what's
You
up.
have something that feeds your soul, and that is
Right.
for
All right. Miss Boots on the ground. All right, Coco.
I guess I'm kind of um on the same level as Sky with that whole church thing. I guess for me, yes, I look at it completely different too. I'm in a space where I feel like God is in me. And I've always, even when I think about being a little girl and being raised into the church, my grandparents' parents, my grandparents, my mom and dad, all of them were into the church. And I just, for me, always felt the disconnect within the church. I just never got it. So once I got older, and a lot of different things start coming at you, and you start hearing about this stuff, hearing about that stuff, and then you go into the church and you start experiencing different things. Like you say, you might have a pastor sleeping with all the women in the congregation. His wife got cancer, his kid is autistic, and you find another woman in the congregation to sleep with. Or you got pastors in the mega churches that you can't even have two words with because he don't need to see you as a real member of the church if you ain't giving them $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week. So that's the type of stuff that I've experienced. So when I had to pull back, and on my own journey, I realized that Mika, everything is in you. That's how you feel about it. Because I'm more spiritual. I don't have to be in the church to know that I have a relationship. It might not be the same God y'all worship in the church, but I know there's a higher power because I've experienced that as well. I've gone through things where I know I was safe. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about the church. And as far as culture, I think we do need to bring that back. We need to start thinking a little more about what our culture was and what part of that culture is important enough to bring back into our lives.
Yeah.
To start talking to our kids again about. Because we do put aside what is best for our kids and then living the way we feel like we should have lived. We try to put that on our kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're not teaching them what you need to look for moving forward. This is how your life is going to be. This is the things that you need to pay attention to. We have to teach these kids these things. My son is in basketball, so I know how this thing is going to work. all these little girls gonna start coming to him. So my thing, well, the way I'm looking at it is, look, stay away from them little girls. They gonna be looking for you to get them pregnant. You know what I mean? So we teach them only as far as what we know. And like you said, we do have to educate ourselves a little more, so we can bring that to our kids and let them know it's things higher than where they try to put us these days. They want to keep us at a certain level and want to make sure we're not over them at any point. And we know what we're talking about when we say that. So that's that for me.
Okay.
Sometimes them is us.
Yeah, you're right. We
Let's
can
say
hold
that.
ourselves back as well.
We
That's
hold
all.
it
Exactly
down.
right.
I guess we missed this comment from Ebony.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Here's somebody.
It say any
Sorry, Ebony.
occupation should be a calling.
Mm.
I disagree.
she said what?
She
I
said
didn't hear what
every
She said
occupation
any
should
occupation should be a
occupation.
calling.
Yeah, I feel like nursing. I can't stand to see
I
nurses.
understand
Yeah, maybe
who-
certain. Yeah, maybe
and
certain.
they, you know,
I-
you
I-
don't like
job.
people. You
I
should
get it,
not
but
be a
I don't
nurse.
see.
You're right.
I
You don't like children,
I
you
don't
shouldn't
see
be
a
a
pastor
teacher.
as an
Right.
occupation.
Mhm.
I don't see a pastor as an
Taking
occupation.
care of
but
elderly
she
people
right.
at a nursing
She
home
right on
should be a
that.
call.
Ebony, if you
But
still,
if you don't like
still with
elderly
us.
people, what you doing there?
If you don't like if you don't like people,
If you don't like people in general, yeah, you shouldn't be in that business.
So Ebony, if you still with us, yeah, you got a point to that. I did kind of respond too fast and say, no, I disagree. But when they broke it down to me, you got a point.
Yeah, it's certain occupations.
Right, I get it. You're right. You're right. Because you should be a nurse if you don't have that calling on you to be able to help people and want to help people.
But I know where she's going, but I
Yeah.
don't want to get into it because it's going to
Yeah.
cause a whole nother conversation. So yeah, maybe we can do that next time, Ebony. We might can do that next week. Yeah.
We can talk about anything.
Yeah.
That's how I love it.
Good. It's good to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what we do. You know, just we have an open forum. You know what I'm saying? To everybody perspective now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perspective is more important than the other.
Right. We don't all
Everybody,
have to.
we all have to agree, but after we get through with this, hey, we shake hands,
Yep.
smile at
keep
each
moving.
other, and keep it moving and tell them harm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Get your mind right.
So I just want to thank everybody that joined us tonight. Everybody that was with us tonight. Want to thank everybody. Want to especially thank our guests. Two things can be true. That is a marvelous name, and I know God gave you that name right there because that's very true. Two things be true. And every show that we do, it always comes to like two
It
things can be
does.
true. Right?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Right. Because it ain't pretty in that mirror.
Nope.
It ain't pretty when you look in that mirror.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta fix a couple of things. All right.
So we like everybody to, that watched us, like and subscribe to our channel at In the Mirror Podcast on our YouTube channel. We on Twitter, In the Mirror Podcast. We also is on Twitch, In the Mirror Podcast, and here on Facebook, we are In the Mirror Live Podcast. So we definitely trying to branch out and get into different areas and use all kinds of streaming sources. We did go a little bit from TikTok today, but we're not too fluent on TikTok. We're going to get up on TikTok. So we're going to try to go from at least every major platform before it's over with. And this is another collaboration with In the Mirror, The Hot Seat, and our new partner. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be around. Y'all going to see her a lot. Frankie Foster with Two Things Can Be True. Y'all make sure y'all check her out as well. On her channel, Two Things Can Be True. And that's it, people.
All right.
So I sit back, smoke a blunt and think about my life. Tomorrow ain't promised, so I smoke it all night. Hell, I'm just a young nigga trying to make it. Grow my hair, getting the dreads, looking like a Haitian. And I'm looking good.